I fully have the patience to do a full lore video right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to take one of these builds that has not gone to the old hunters yet. I think Misha, Rain, or no, Misha, Early Rain. Not going to take Early Rain. That's my wife's build. I got 2 Root Primus, but he's halfway through and he's in New Game Plus. I think his build is broken, actually. That's also New Game Plus, too far out. I'm thinking it's looking like Agris or John Ashford. Agris looks dumb. I could start a brand new person. I think I'll just start with... Fuck, dude. This is like picking children right now. John Ashford's build. Yeah. Yeah, I can do John Ashford. His lore stuff for the Tales of a Hunter doesn't really go, or it's not going to go into the old hunters very much, so I think that this is acceptable. So I'm gonna play this piece by piece. I'll let you guys into what am I doing here? What the fuck? What am I doing here? What am I doing here? Here in Bergenworth. Nope. Nope. Here's where that 40 endurance comes into play. No, he is on my ass. Nope, you're gonna stay back there. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing in Bergenworth. Goodbye. So, yeah, John Ashford's build is also kind of broken. It's not too awful, but I mean, 40 endurance for no reason. This is literally so I can get 15 hits with the stake driver. It's actually kind of funny in PvP because people don't actually expect you to just like wallop on them. Also, is Gurman still around for this? Gurman is not. Where's Gurman? Oh, he's out in his wheelchair, isn't he? No? God damn it. He's gonna be gone for this whole thing, isn't he? Shit, did I kill Rom? I think I killed Rom already. Yeah, I have. I've done quite a bit with him, actually. Okay. I guess I could grab a new weapon in the old hunters. Did I actually unlock it yet? No. Okay. So, it looks like we're doing this from the very beginning. And I will, let you guys into a little bit of the madness that has been the last week and a half for me. Pretty much since this came out. I'm also going to get something to drink, though. Because I think I'm at a monster. I'll wait until the next cutscene. Because I know I'm going to have to go through another fucking loading screen, so... Oh, wait, do I even have enough insight to see old dude yet? Or wait. Do the Amigdalas show up after you kill Rom, or is it after you kill the one reborn? Oh, it doesn't matter. I've got 51 insight. Yeah, there he is, you big gross bitch. Interesting thing to note, the Amigdalas, we'll look at this a little bit more in depth whenever we get there, but the Amigdalas are definitely present in the old hunters, and a lot of people have just like run past them and just totally ignored their existence. But John Ashford is going to go on a little journey here. Ah!
Cursed fiends, their children too. And their children forever true
Okay. I'm still getting Pepsi, and I might be too far away from the PlayStation for my microphone to even be picking up right now. Ow, motherfucker. That hurt. Oh, I stubbed my fucking toe. Oh man, that's painful. Oh, there's too much stuff in this fridge. Why is that open? Oh, it's harder than balls. Well, that's ruined. Oh man. At least I cleaned the house today. A little bit, and then let it get dirty again. Okay, so Fadi has brought up something kind of interesting about the fact that we wind up in Cathedral Ward again. About the possibility of it being based off of somebody's memory. I think he's on the right path, but I don't think it's quite that. I think it's kind of more like, basically, my belief for, like, say, spirits in the world, if they exist. My belief is that they, like, if someone dies and leaves behind a ghost, more often than not, that person was somebody that suffered some sort of, like, violent or, like, really tragic event of some sort, especially in New Orleans. So I think that's kind of, basically, like, I feel like they leave a residual energy, like, they leave an impression on the energy that's around them in the places that they're at. I think that's kind of a similar situation to here. Is that, wait, what? Oh no, I've gotten that before. I'm just looking at it from a weird angle. It is interesting to note that this place is kind of run down. Whatever is not part of the Cathedral Ward is got all this nightmare terrain around it. I've heard a lot of people theorizing that it's just a regular Yarnum hunter. Now, here's the first maddening thing, is that there are corpses of Yarnum hunters, but I don't know if that's just like a placeholder kind of thing, you know? Oh, he's wailing on him. He thinks the blood vials, though, dude. Oh, hey! Wow! Wow, this is also a mistake. Okay. I forgot I can't smoke cigarettes and play this game at the same time. It's just not a thing that happens. But those corpses could just be placeholders. Wow. Wow. Okay. You've made your point. You've made it your point. Nice. Wow. I am off to a fantastic start tonight. That's what hit me. I forgot how hard it is to use the stake driver. I didn't even think he was the one that I was fighting. I think that the other one walked downstairs. I don't know, maybe he... Oh, yeah. There he goes. Oh, that's why I did 40 stamina. I remember now. I did 40 stamina so that I could do a a charge stake driver attack and still take the riposte. So yeah, there's some major problems with piecing together the lore of this area, because, well, two major problems in particular that I keep running into. One, this is a nightmare realm. We don't know what the fuck that means. That basically means that Miyazaki could have done whatever the hell he wanted to, and we were just forced to accept it because, like, it's an existence that he sort of created. I.e. the fact that there's two freaking clock towers, which I can't see the other one from here, but they're the exact same clock tower. They're the same clock tower from Yharnam. This is also, I think this is also a Yharnam Hunter. Yeah. So, again, I don't know if those are just placeholders, or if they're just, yeah, because these dudes, the Yharnam Hunters were recruited by Ludwig. Maybe the first two bosses represent one time period, while the next two represent another. I've heard a lot of people say they think that the timeline, like, backwards. Oh, blood! I don't think so, dude. It's not right now. Wow! Yo, let's distract him. So, another thing, we'll get into this a little bit later, but the whole old hunter's bone at the grave that was... What are you doing? What are you doing? Don't leave me come down there. The whole old hunter's bone, everybody's like, oh, it does not belong to Maria because that's the doll praise, and that's where you pick up the old hunter bone. Like, Maria's the only NPC that uses quickening without actually consuming an item, like, because the Crow of Canehurst. Wow, that was dumb. Because the Crow of Canehurst uses it, but he has to consume an old hunter bone first. And they were like, the only two NPCs that use it without any sort of consumable are Gurman and Maria. Not true. As you saw just a moment ago. It is definitely a skill that belongs to it. The ones with the beast hunter scythe. Scythe? Scythe. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but I don't think it matters. Oh, fuck! I hate dogs. Also, why Dobermans? Like, I'm cool with killing almost any kind of dog, but not Dobermans. That sucks. So, as you'll notice, oh, fuck. As you'll notice, the hunters with the beast hunter scythe also use quickening without any sort of consumable. I don't know why I stop talking whenever I'm trying to focus on a backstab. Seems like a really arbitrary thing for me to have to. Hey, Hey, earn me some souls. God damn it. They're blood echoes. I keep calling them souls. You guys, come on, rally up. You don't need to follow me. Run back over to this guy. I still don't know who to root for. I knew he was going to come after me after that. Leave me alone. I don't have any blue elixirs. Oh, but what I can do... You can't see me. I thought I actually got it. Oh, quit. Keep jumping right into that attack. Protect me! Kill the beast. Suck it. Kill? Dude, that attack is ridiculous. Oh! This build is not very good for this area. Anyways. So, the first cathedral, you got all these beasts and all these hunters hunting beasts down below. And, oh, he already triggered. Interestingly enough, this dude is definitely in white church hunting. Oh shit, that has got range. And parry. I'm gonna run past him though so he de-aggroes and just take a look at the back of this thing. I gotta come in here and get this eye pendant anyways. Blast him in the back of the stake driver. And of course, in the cathedral, we've got Lawrence, the first cleric beast, who is holding an eye pendant. Now, this is part of what leads me to believe that this does not take place backwards. For him to have, I mean, I guess it would make sense for him to have that eye pendant if this was backwards, but I don't know. The surgery altar, it's really strange. I just feel like there's a lot of pieces to the cathedrals that exist here in this nightmare that don't exist in the real world, that could have been absorbed by the nightmare? I'm not sure. But I feel like, chronologically, it would make the most sense for Lawrence to be the last to perish, and that be, like, the closest to a hunt near the hunt that we arrive at. But another thing interesting is that these executioners, their garb is exactly the same as the... Oh shit, no way you noticed me. Their garb is the same as the axemen that guard this pathway in the real world. Another thing that helps link those, let's see if I can get the camera to focus around here. How close? No! Oh, there we go. They've got bells on their necks. Just like the church. You know what? You're gonna have to chill. I'm trying to look at your character model, so you're gonna have to leave me alone. But it is definitely white church hunter garb. I initially thought that it was executioner garb because, you know, axe and all that good shit, but it is definitely just the white church hunter garb. Furthermore, these white church hunter, executioner, pre-church giants, whatever you want to call them, I don't have the official guide, so I can't tell you what their actual enemy name is. They are definitely now kin of the cosmos, in a sense, because even in their faces, underneath this mass of tentacles and stuff... Oh, fuck. I'm not close enough to him. This was easier to check out when I... Ah, fuck. Yeah, no. That didn't work at all. Their skulls just made you were going really far out of your aggro distance to fuck with me here, dude. Yeah, you're scared of the boss, aren't you? But these white church hunter executioners are also guarding Lawrence, and later they're guarding Ludwig too, at least in that river of blood, the path that leads there or whatever. Alright, I'm done dealing with this guy. I'm gonna sneak behind him and give him the old pile driver, or stake driver, pile hammer, whatever. But also you can hear singing when they're near. The only other place that I've noted that singing exists... Oh man, now I forgot where it was. But that soft, like 3 to 4 note choir that's playing there does exist at a point in the regular game as well. I can't quite remember right now where, but it is. Oh yeah, there we go. I think their corpses disappeared, so yeah. So we can't actually look at their corpse, unfortunately. Yeah, we'll get a little bit deeper into the nightmare here to get some looking. I'm sure Ludwig is going to give me one metric ass ton of problems tonight, because that's just sort of the way that he likes to operate. Yeah, so second Cathedral, which, I mean, I get it. There's only one cathedral in Yharnam, and there's a lot that they wanted to convey, but just putting 2 separate cathedrals feels kind of cheap from a gameplay aspect. They're technically the same place, but there's shit that exists that doesn't actually exist in the real world. Like, when you get up there into the Astral Clock Tower, if you were to go to that point in Yharnam, where in the Upper Cathedral Ward you fight the Celestial Emissary. There's no way that the room in the Astral Clock Tower, it's impossible for it to exist with the way that it's set up. It just sort of, I don't know, which I suppose could be described, or not described, it could be explained by saying that the nightmare helped distort the areas, not just here that got taken to the nightmare, but also the areas that were left behind in Yharnam. But again, we're dealing with a realm that Miyazaki could literally say anything, and like we're gonna have to accept that that's the way that it is, because it's a realm that he created, the different plane of existence that doesn't actually have to have rules. The only rules that it has to apply by are Miyazaki's. So he could give us any answer he wanted to. He could say exactly that the geography got warped because of the two instances, and like we would just have to be like, okay, Miyazaki, like you're the king. So, oh shit. And here is where we're coming up on So, whether this is something that exists now, or this was something that existed on this street in Yharnam in the real world as this was all going down, there are Amigdalas. It's possible that the hunters saw an Amigdala on the Odin Chapel like we see and took it down. I kind of think it's more plausible that the Amigdalas once roamed this section of the nightmare as well, and the hunters took it down in their blood-drunk rage, because like what's a hunter gonna do? Like it's gonna hunt. Like they're blood-drunk hunters, all they know is hunting. They probably hunted and killed this Amigdala. There's a couple more. I assume that they're lessers. I think that the one at the Grand Cathedral is a greater. The ones that have the tentacles coming out of their mouths in Yahar Ghul, I assume those are greater just because they look more evolved. And I think the ones that we kill, both in the Chalice Dungeon and in the Nightmare Frontier, I'm pretty sure those are lesser Amigdalas. And I think this is a lesser Amigdala too. Although it does look like it's just a skeleton husk thing. It's kind of hard to tell, but at least it's evident that it's an Amigdala skeleton, or an Amigdala corpse at least. Another thing, we've got some insight once we get to the research hall. This is just something that I thought of passively here. We got a nice little insight as to the doctors and the wheelchairmen. Oh, I fucking hate these dudes. You know, I don't actually think so. No? Still? Still want some more. Oh shit, I'm caught. Fucking Nightmare Realms and their retarded tombstone placement. Actually, I guess that's pretty much the full game of Alright. 0 bullets. But full health. So... Also, why the fuck can they throw delayed Molotovs? And I've got to just drop them from where I'm standing. Man, this 40 endurance is actually kind of productive. I mean, it works for being able to do the pile hammer. The pile hammer. Fuck. I've been reading the Japanese wiki too much. The stake driver. It works for that because I can do a full charge power attack and still have enough stamina left over to either get away or take the post. Which was kind of what I was going for this. This build was honestly just supposed to be for the lore videos, for the Hunter. Oh, fuck you. And he was only going to go through challenge stones, but because this is easier than me piecing together a lore video right now, this is how I'm going to dissect some of the sections of the old hunters here. And of course, I watched so many people fall for this trap. This the night that the DLC was dropped. I watched so many people die to this. They were like, oh, I'm gonna run up on him and I'm gonna kill him just like I do in the real world. Like, surprise, Miyazaki's a fucking troll. I'll have to upgrade it, but I think I might start using this for the sake of the DLC. It's cool. I really liked the Tornquist, but I never really got a chance to use it. This guy might have to, maybe if somebody immediately connects, but this guy might have to wait because he's gonna fuck this build up. Yeah, I think he's gonna have to wait. I'll come back to this part, which means I think the Gatling gun hunter's probably also gonna have to wait. Oh wait, speaking of waiting. Oh, I don't want the Gatling gun hunter to have to wait because I really want that Amigdala arm. Okay, let's do this. Dead horse. Scared the shit out of me for some reason. Let's juke. Oh, I said juke. I said juke. And this is where 40 stamina comes from. Deuces, all of you. What did you say? That's definitely not dialogue I've heard before. Oh, let me roll back towards the Molotov that he just threw at me. Fuck you. Alright, we'll run back, replenish the bullets real quick. Try to bring somebody in. And go from there. I don't know what standing my bullet storage is in right now with this character, but I can only assume that it's small because it's a cannon build. Yeah. Damn it. Alright, well I guess. Hang on. Is this a level?
Well, what it? Very well.
It is not a level. Get out. Go away. All my builds have like minuscule stuff. My New Game Plus builds are always full. Oh, Garmin, you got some splaining to do. Lawrence, help me.
Oh, Lawrence, what's taking you so long? I've grown too old for this. Of little use now, I'm afraid.
So, another thing that this kind of helps, I've been sort of placing a timeline with all of this shit. I've heard people say that because you bring about the red moon, that's when he starts to sleep. Which makes sense, because I think every time I see him after that, he's sleeping like a wee baby. Speaking of wee babies that sleep. Oh shit. No, what are you doing? Ooh, this is a little bit more than I thought it would be. I'll wait, because I might want to use the Amigdala run. I will instead take a level and more bullets.
Welcome. What is it? Very well then.
Where do I have an awkward end? Not really anywhere. I guess we'll go to 25 and 25 vitality.
Farewell, good may.
Am I on Vile Blood? Why am I a Vile Blood? Oh, because I wanted to get blood dregs to see if there was any sort of update after they added the league. There is not. In case anybody was wondering and hadn't actually taken the time to go back to Canehurst, there is not any new benefits or anything like that. Covenants in this game are still kind of lacking, even in Covenant, which kind of sucks, but like, whatever. It's not Dark Souls. Get over it, I guess, is pretty much the answer that I've received. Let's see here. Oh shit, that's not what I meant to do. No, go back. Okay. So an interesting note about Gurman's dialogue that kind of helped me place the timeline a little bit. When he says, "Oh Lawrence, what's taking so long?" I think Lawrence, through his church doctors. Oh shit, yes. Right off the bat. And it's another Confederate. Oh, you got that bow blade. Give me the cane. Pimp cane. Alright, let's do this. Praise the League. Dialogue.
You're a hunter with your sanity, aren't you? Must have taken a wrong turn. Well, we're more alike than you think. This is the hunter's nightmare, where hunters end up when drunk with blood. You've seen them before. Aimless, wandering hunters slavering like beasts. This is what the poor fools have to look forward to. So, don't be brash. Done unless you've something of an interest in nightmares.
I mean, otherwise I wouldn't have spent $20 on the DLC.
Oh yes, I see. You sense a secret within the nightmare, and cannot bear to leave it be. As if the spirit of Bergenworth lives on within you. Such inquisitive hunters will relish the nightmare. But beware. Secrets are secrets for a reason, and some do not wish to see them uncovered. Especially when the secrets are particularly unseemly.
This guy's pretty translucent, actually. It's pretty much a given that that's Simon. Let me go grab this constable garb. We'll get into a little bit of the constable stuff, but that I'm a little bit murky on because I can't quite place it timeline-wise. But we'll take a look at that real quick while we're... No, we gotta do... Wait, we'll take a look at that here in a minute. Anyways, so back to what I was saying about the... Oh, you still got it. You son of a bitch. So, dig this. Gurman keeps asking what's taking him so long. I'm pretty sure, especially given the events of the research hall. You know what? Actually, I think I'll save that until we get to the research hall. I think that'll make a little bit more sense once we're there. Plus, I'm about to fight this beast. What are you fighting? Oh, that thing. I don't have a beast drawer. I can roll back at it. Wow. Pummel him! Pummel him! Haha! Suck it. Alright, so I think that we can go ahead and infer that that beast hunter. No, not beast hunter. The hunter that is also a beast. I think that we can probably infer that that was somebody from the auto workshop. Wow, I forgot about you guys. Dude, you were just taking shit apart. You're gonna help me come get this Amigdala on. Oh, eat it! We're gonna clear this place out because you clearly have the weapons that it takes. While it is kind of interesting that these guys are here, it's also kind of helps prove a little bit of a theory that I had with the Dude, your blades just do ridiculous damage. Just in case. Sometimes you gotta cannon a motherfucker. I think I have not fully gotten to it yet, but you only have one blood vial? I think you've only got one blood vial. Wow, he's gonna kill me. I'm not doing very well tonight. We've got 2 blood vials with him. Pommel. There we go. Give me that Gatling. Oh, hey. So, Bloodstarved Beast really enjoys these things. He didn't waste any time. Wow, I can't get out. Oh, this is dumb. This is a poor choice. What am I doing? Canehurst beasts being here, I know some people have speculated that they are something to do with the vermin. I also don't believe that that's the case. I actually believe that they are into the Canehurst bloodline, because as we've seen, any beast, anybody that becomes a beast, becomes a different kind of beast than the next person. And it would make sense if someone, say a knight that was once a vile blood, became drunk with blood, would become one of those weird tick things that just gorges on blood. And it makes even more sense that they're here, given what we find later on. We're about to run into one of those things when I go and get this whirligig saw. Yeah, you too. Wow, why are you rolling in that direction? You are gonna get murdered. I'm kind of miraculous that I have not gotten invaded yet. I shouldn't have said that because now... Oh wait, knock on wood. Oh, all three of them. Oh, that's a trap. Wow, shit. Alright, one down. Oh, shit. Oh, I got my cooperator killed. It's okay, he served his purpose. I don't actually remember where the bell chiming woman is in this area. Where did I pick that up off of? Yeah, see, I picked that up off of a regular Yharnam Hunter, so I feel like the regular Yharnam Hunters are just placeholders in this game. Or in this area, I mean. I guess it would make sense if they were just hunters that, again, became drunk with blood and then managed to find their way here. Do I want to run back and try to find another cooperator? I'm coming up on another lantern here soon, so... Ah! I didn't want to have to kill you. You brought that on yourself. Also, why Dobermans? The old hunters have Dobermans, and the new hunters have, labs? Or whatever those dogs are? Shepherd dogs? I don't think none of you. Here we go. One really good thing about 40 endurance, nothing will ever knock you off of a ladder. Here we're coming up on further proof that it's possible that that grave is not Maria's. Because blah blah, gotta use a consumable to use quickening. This guy does not. Wow! Wow! That was... I should have killed him. That was foolish. I did foolish things there. But yeah, for whatever reason, those ones that have the Beast Hunter Scythe also use quickening without using any sort of consumable. So, I don't know. Well, it's possible that the gravestone for the Hunter's Nightmare is Maria, but I am kind of doubtful of that. I don't know. I'm not 100% convinced. Not yet, at least. There's a possibility that it's Garmin's grave too, but it is interesting to note that it's the only grave that exists in both the Hunter's Dream and the abandoned old workshop. Let's just go ahead and praise the League. Yeah, you've been through this too. Praise the League. Come on, you gotta do it with me. Otherwise we can't progress. Alright, cool. But you're also a conformist now, so. What's up, Simon? I don't need to deal with any of this. I'm gonna wind up leaving him in the dust, though, because my endurance is far too high. And this is called a juke. Oh. No? Oh. I started using the whirligig saw with one of my other characters. And I really like it. Not as much as the Ludwig blades. Either one, the Holy Moonlight Sword or... Oh, stuff. Oh, there she is! Ah! My weapon's at risk? Son of a bitch. Alright, I guess we're gonna use it till it breaks. What do I got? 60 out of 100. Wow, I guess I'm just gonna take all of these attacks. Take all the pebbles too. Ugh. The fucking ambient corpses that keep getting up and laying back down in this area freak me out. Oh yeah. No, I'll get it when I get down here. I'll take those back. Whoa, there he goes again. That's probably what's breaking my weapon. Oh no, we should be fine. I don't actually have to. Okay. Didn't actually have to do that, dude. Whatever. Over there. That whirligig saw. I guess this way I can make sure that I get this gear. Climbing rafters, just like everywhere else. More constable gear. Read this really quick. Once upon a time, a troop of foreign constables chased the beast all the way to Yarnum, and this is what they wore. The constables became victims of the beast, except for one survivor, who in turn devoured the creature whole, all by himself. Yeah, Valtier is definitely the one who consumed the beast. He is definitely the beast eater. Where are you going? What are you doing? Alright, now here we've got a really good look at Cathedral number 2. So, Cathedral 1 over there, Cathedral 2 over here. As you can see, they are definitely the same cathedrals. Oh, sweet! Maybe Ludwig won't fuck my day up today. Aw, church cannon! Son of a bitch. Oh shit! Fuck this dude. Oh, come on. God. Oh, he has no clue. Somebody take it. Oh, that's real cooperation right there. So, also back here we've got the butcher's garb. I'm not gonna look at it right now, but it's the Madaros twins garb. Which I'll bring up another point about that too later, after I travel back. Oh shit. No, I'm activating that lantern first, because my first playthrough, I completely ignored this area. Also, let's go vermin hunting, you guys. Wait, do other people get the vermin? Kill it. You can see its silhouette. That's so cool. I knew there was a reason that I didn't do that. Alright. So coming up here. Last time somebody triggered this for me. There's one of those things. You remember the blindfold cap, or I think it's the Cosmic Eye Watcher badge, that says, the choir stumbled upon an epiphany, quite suddenly and rather by accident. Here we are, feet planted firmly in the earth, but what if the cosmos is nearer than we think, even just above our heads, something along those lines. It is interesting because once we go to that astral clock tower, it just so happens that yes, the cosmos is just above our heads. And we kind of accidentally just discovered that by something dropping from the sky. Yeah? No? Okay. Also, I think the witches might be some sort of Sumerian. Alright, so since we got 2 summons in this area, I won't be able to show, but there are 3 possible summons for this fight. I think 2 of them are only available if you're a Confederate of the League. Also this area. Ugh. Writhing in corpses. One of them, back in that area, it's Voltaire. You also got the younger Madaros twin and Henriette again.
Please. Help us. And I'm silent.
He's probably going to kill me. Maybe. He might kill me.
Have mercy. Have mercy upon us.
Oh, he's still wearing a white church hunter garb. I just now noticed that. Oh, fuck you, dude. Why you gotta smack me? Here, this is for you. Oh, that is shit. Yeah, he's definitely still, oh shit. He's definitely still in white church hunter garb. let them handle it. No. 40 endurance. 40 endurance. Woo! Oh, somehow I survived that.
All along.
God, it's gorgeous.
My true mentor. My guiding moonlight.
Nope, get out, get out. Nope, too far away. Nope. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Got him! Oh, this is it! Hey-oh! Remain. Thanks, FromSoft. Did he? Oh, fuck, he died. So you only get one chance, because once he dies, he's dead. Apparently all he does is laugh, but I really wanted to see that for myself. Whatever. What's up?
Good hunter. Have you seen the thread of light? Just a hair, a fleeting thing. Yet I clung to it, steeped as I was in the stench of blood and beasts. I never wanted to know what it really was. Really, I didn't.
It's interesting that I think we only come across one other beast that still has the capability to talk. Also, it's kind of miraculous that he can talk without his head. He's just a head. Alright, let's do the second portion of dialogue.
Tell me, good hunter of the church, have you seen the light? Are my church hunters the honorable Spartans? I hoped they would be.
I feel bad ruining his...
Good. That is a relief. To know I did not suffer such denigration for nothing. Thank you kindly. Now I may sleep in peace. Even in this darkest of nights, I see the moonlight.
So that's one thing. And he just wheezes the rest of the time. I'm gonna keep him alive until I'm gonna come back and visit him after every time I kill a boss, just to see if there's any different dialogue. That is the one thing that's kind of interesting. I have no clue what he's talking about when he says the thread of light. But looking at the rune that he gives us, the guidance rune, this is another interesting thing. A Carol rune discovered by the old hunter Ludwig along with the holy moonlight sword. Something otherworldly, something of the cosmos must have reached out to Ludwig. Now, I am almost positive that Ludwig and his hunters came well after Gehrman was lost, and it's kind of my theory. One possible theory that I have is that Gehrman was trapped in this nightmare before he was reconceived in the hunter's dream. So it's possible that Gehrman, or perhaps another hunter from this realm, tried to bestow their blessings upon Ludwig and his church hunters from afar. So, because we don't really have any sort of insight as to how or where he discovered the stuff that he discovered, this rune and the moonlight sword. Probably in the Duke's archives or the Crystal Caves, but whatever. I mean, it kind of got shoehorned in here a little bit, and I'm going to be really disappointed if there wasn't anything thought out for it beyond holy moonlight sword. Here, have some fan service, you know. But there's got to be a reason that he put it in like this. So when Ludwig closed his eyes, he saw darkness or perhaps nothingness. And that is where he discovered the tiny beings of light. Now, that might refer to the messengers. I cannot find... I tried to look for the ambiguous version, the Japanese regular translation of this rune, but I haven't been able to find anything on it yet. I'm probably just not looking hard enough. Ludwig was certain that these playful dancing sprites offered guidance and emptied Ludwig of his fears, at least in the midst of a hunt. Wait. When he closed his eyes, he saw darkness or perhaps nothingness. I wonder if Ludwig went through the dream. And that was how he became the first church hunter, was because he went through the dream. And that paragraph is referencing when he first got his blood transfusion, just like when we do. Which I guess I can go ahead and talk a little bit about that real quick. In the very beginning of the game, we show up, and I think that note was on us whenever we arrived in the clinic, because the first thing that we hear is him talking about the wheelchair doctor talking about pale blood, and he says he's going to give you a blood transfusion with Yharnam blood, and he says you may think it's all going to be a mere bad dream. And we kind of phase in and out a little bit, and when we come back to, there's a beast in blood that starts to rise up, and as it reaches out and touches us, it bursts into flames. The messengers then cover our body and perhaps consume our body. I think basically what that leads to is that Lawrence put safeguards in place throughout the Healing Church, sort of like the guy from what was that movie? It was that horror movie where there were the traps? Saw. Yeah, and the dude died in like the third movie, but then like had all these safeguards in place for like 6 more freaking movies. I think it's kind of a situation like that with Lawrence. I think that the doctor that was operating on us was one of his doctors, especially we'll see after we go to the research hall. We'll go back and check out Yosefka's clinic, and I'll point out the
parallels between the two. Because they are definitely, like, it's very clear that they were once probably one and the same. They were at least associated. So I think that doctor was one of Lawrence's doctors, and I think most of the dudes in wheelchairs are doctors that do the blood transfusions. Now, when we're infused with Yharnam blood, it is the old blood, so there is the risk of the beastly scourge taking over us as well. So I think that's what's represented in the beginning, is we go through Yharnam, or we go through the introduction, and that beast is slowly creeping towards us to signify that the beastly scourge is trying to take us over. But because the messengers, which I also believe the messengers are some sort of being, well, I mean, I guess she says it right out, that the beings inhabit the dream. So that leads me to believe that they can travel back and forth between the realms and stuff. They're probably, like, I think they're the second kind of being. Like, you've got the great ones, and then on the opposite end of that scale, you've got the little ones. The creatures that inhabit the stump. And so those little creatures deem us worthy to be hunters and cover us and protect us from the beastly scourge, so that we may now travel back and forth between the realms like they do. So it's possible that when the whole Ludwig closed his eyes, he saw darkness, and that's where he discovered the tiny beings of light. It's possible that that's what he's talking about, because they do look like they're illuminated a little bit when they cover our body. But I'm not sure. That's still just speculation. And the whole thread of light thing, I'm not sure about that at all. I'm still trying to figure that one out. But I'm hoping that if I leave his head alive, that maybe we'll discover some new dialogue once we kill, like, maybe Maria or the Orphan of Kos or something like that. But let's go ahead and grab this. Let's go fix up my stake driver. Oh yeah, I don't know why it told me weapon at risk. I was still doing decent with it. We'll go fix my stake driver, pick a new weapon, upgrade it, start using it, all that fancy schmancy stuff. Level up a little bit, probably get a couple more points into strength. You, make the echoes my strength.
Welcome home. What is it?
You got any dialogue?
Good hunter.
Alright.
Very well lit.
Yeah, I kind of want to go for that 40 vitality, but I'm also not doing nearly enough damage. I guess it's because the stake driver kind of sucks, but I really wanted this build to use the stake driver primarily. I think we will put our points into strength.
Farewell, mate.
And I know I was rude to you earlier and I ran off, so I'm sorry. There's that for you. You can do with it as you will. Oh no. Okay, so I'm thinking Amigdala arm for this playthrough. It's interesting and wacky enough for me to kind of want to get good with it. Although alternatively on the other end of that, I could just keep upgrading the stake driver. I have not taken this character far enough to get a blood rock yet, so yeah. Oh wow, I've got like no regulars. 4, 5. Fuck off. Ugh, these early builds have like nothing. Gotta run back and forth. Yeah, that'll do. Has a minor scaling with arcane. honestly, the stake driver, like, it's really gimmicky. The only real thing that it's got is that it's quick enough that you can catch people off guard, since I've got that beefy endurance. And of course that power attack, if you land it on somebody, it's good. But let's go ahead and fortify this. We'll I don't feel like I have very incredible blood gems right now. Also, this is the only way that I do it, is I just look for the blue numbers. Some weapons, if I'm setting up my sidearm, I will sometimes set it up with like slow poison effects or like added frenzy effects, whatever. And it's just, I think they're just slow and rapid poison. Alright. Oh, and that endurance is going to be so beneficial. Alright. Alright, so now that we've got that first area a little bit more... Oh, another thing I was going to look at once I came back here was that butcher set. Let's see... The Madaros twins, like most of the League, it's kind of weird. I can't really place it timeline-wise. Mask of the Madaros twins. Denizens of the Forbidden Woods, likely belonging to the older of the two. The twins grew up in silent kinship with a poisonous snake. Eventually they learned human ways and became hunters. When they discovered vermin, even in their beloved snake, the younger brother is said to have murdered the older. So that kind of implies that there was the part of the reason that the younger brother murdered the older had to do with the discovery of the vermin inside of them, or inside of the snakes, which is, I don't know. Thinking about some of the places that we can find the Madaros twins, the only places that I've confirmed so far, there is one just outside of Valtir. Whenever you go back there, you fight him, you get the Madaros whistle. Why? I'm not entirely sure. I think you can also summon the younger Madaros twin in the Forbidden Woods somewhere. I know you can summon him in Bergenworth. And I know you can summon him just before Ludwig's fight. So, and we also find his gear in the Nightmare. So, I think it's safe to assume that the younger brother... Oh no, wait. I said this is likely belonging to the older of the two. So, when he died, he probably was whisked away to the Nightmare. So, the older brother and his blood drunkenness probably had something to do with the vermin showing up even in their snake. Another really interesting thing to note is that whenever you use that Madaros whistle, I can't use it with this character because it takes like 18 blood tinge. But one, it's a hunter tool that requires blood tinge instead of arcane, which is badass. And two, if you whistle and call it and just stand there, the snake will bite you and it'll do a decent chunk of damage to you. So it's kind of like a rope Molotov style trap, but I don't know. The Madaros twins are interesting. They're kind of shrouded in mystery here. Both of the twins became hunters and brought back and dissected their beast prey in order to support the villagers in their forbidden research. Now that gives us a little bit of insight to the Forbidden Woods, which I need to go back and re-explore, because apparently the villagers were doing forbidden research. Which, it's possible that the Forbidden Woods were, like, comprised, am I using that word correctly? It's possible that it was just a bunch of old scholars of Bergenworth, even, in the earlier times. So, these guys could possibly be placed on the timeline early, pre-Healing Church, around the time of Bergenworth. It's possible. Again, as with all of the Hunters of the League, placing them on a timeline is kind of hard. Although, this is interesting. Iron helm resembling an upside-down bucket. A single hole allows one to peek out with a single eye, which is probably all that its original owner had. Now, when you summon Valtyr after completing the League quest and gaining this helmet, instead of him being Master of the League. It's Valtyr, Master of the League, when you summon him, and he's in full garb with his bucket helmet and everything like that. But after you gain the bucket helmet, he's no longer technically the Master. So when you summon him, his title changes to Valtyr, the Beast Eater, and when he shows up, he does not have his mask. When he doesn't have his mask, now this could just be because it's hard to reprogram, since they're all the NPCs are run through the same cycling program that we have. But he definitely has two eyes whenever you summon him. So I don't know if I should look too far into that or not, but it kind of implies to me that this Iron Helm probably belonged to somebody before it belonged to Valtyr. But whenever we come across pretty much any member of the League, aside from the Madaros twins, their garb is foreign. It's from a different land. I'm not sure if Brador is a League member or was a League member or not, but he also had a foreigner's garb. It's kind of hard to tell. I'll get a little bit more into him whenever we discover him. But it's definitely clear that Valtyr was the Beast Eater. The Forbidden Beast Eater. What kind of beast he ate, I'm not sure. And does that imply that he killed the beast and then like chopped it up into tiny little pieces and ate it? Or does that imply that he is some sort of other creature too? Not sure. I mean, he does have a whirligig saw, so if there was any sort of weapon that was going to take a beast apart piece by piece, it would probably be that whirligig saw, because that thing is a monster. But yeah, and constable, the word constable being used here, is also interesting. I'm not sure if that's on purpose or if that is a mistranslation. Like I said, especially a lot of the old hunters' gear and stuff that gets brought in, not a lot of it is up on the Japanese wiki yet, or at least I can't find it because I'm still just figuring out how to navigate it. So I don't know if the constable was a word that was meant to be brought over or not, but basically what a constable means is a peacekeeper, like another term for it would also be like not quite like a king, but like almost like a political official, I think. But also in this paragraph talking about Once Upon a Time kind of leads me to believe it was really, really early on. And the Hunters of the League, if I had to take a gamble and place them, I would probably place them somewhere in the time period of the Auto Workshop, which I think the Auto Workshop was a branch off of the Old Hunters that eventually became the Powder Kegs as opposition to the Healing Church. As we noticed from Jura, he's not really a beast hunter. He's more like a protector of the beasts because he knows what they are. Similarly, whenever we find... let's take a look at that Gatling gun, too. This highly customized portable version of the stationary Gatling gun operated by the Old Hunter Jura. Now, it's not capitalized there, so it's not necessarily... I don't know if that holds significance that he wasn't an actual Old Hunter, because he was a powder keg. I'm almost 100% positive that he was a powder keg. It wouldn't make sense for him to be anything else. Operated by the Old Hunter Jura in Old Yarnum. It was the weapon of choice of the youngest of Jura's three companions. Now that kind of caught me off guard when I read it first, but I realized that this actually kind of wraps up things for that. In Old Yarnum, there's Jura, there's his assistant down there with the saw spear, and then there's the corpse of the guy that we pick up the Charred Hunter gear from, and now we've already found the third and final companion of Jura's, who made his way to the nightmare. Now, I don't know if he was necessarily drunk with blood or if he just made it there by accident, but somebody had brought up that it was possible that he was hiding in the dark there to protect the beasts, like the blood-starved beast and stuff, which also, real quick, fucking blood-starved beast down there, like, really? I knew it was coming. I knew there was going to be one of those instances where a boss became a regular enemy in the new DLC, but, like, of all the bosses, I hate the blood-starved beast the most. The Gatling gun boasts exceptional rapid. Oh yeah, the rest of that's not really. That's more just describing it. I think that's all that we've picked up so far. Oh, the actual old hunter's gear. This stuff is also kind of light in lore. Old hunter top hat. In the old days when hunters were 10 a penny, this was part of their standard garb. Did I not pick up the old hunter trousers? Because that was the important one. Shit. Is that the only piece that I picked up? Oh man. I am sucking hard tonight. Can I buy those? No, I can't buy those. But I think the firing hammer badge is kind of useless. Because I noticed that whenever you pick up and find one of the items in the DLC, it's immediately available regardless of whether you get the firing hammer badge or not. The boom hammer is here, the whirligig saw is here. Oh yeah, I guess we should look at these two. Trick weapon used by the old hunters and crafted by the workshop heretics, the powder kegs. This is also interesting because this places the powder kegs in a time similar to the old hunters, but we also read from that firing hammer badge. Actually, I don't know if I looked at that yet or not. I'm gonna buy stuff. From the firing hammer badge, it states of the old auto workshop, precursor to the workshop of the heretical powder kegs. Oh, my wife's PlayStation is still on. She just left her Dark Souls runner. Let me shut that down. My power bill's gonna be through the goddamn roof. The powder kegs were driven by singular ideas and crafted strange weapons in great intricacy. I think that's what that word is. I'm pretty sure that's what that is. It is also 5 o'clock in the morning here, so. It's clear that the philosophy of the powder kegs was already established at this time. Okay, hang on. Let's think about that for a second. So, if the powder kegs were driven by singular ideas and crafted strange weapons, the philosophy of the powder kegs was already established at this time. So, while the auto workshop is a precursor to the powder kegs, it kind of sounds like they were already kind of set in their ways. I'm pretty sure that Gurman and his hunters cooperated with the church, but it sounds like the auto workshop might be other hunters that also probably followed Gurman and his ways, but weren't exactly on the same set of like, hey, let's kill these beasts to ascend and become these great things. They were probably like, dude, you're killing people. Okay, so the Beast Hunter Scythe. This one's kind of cool. We'll take a look at it real quick. I'm never taking that stake driver off. Oh. Yeah, here we go. It's kind of interesting that it's... some people don't really like it because they're like, oh great, another, saw cleaver. But like, it's not serrated. So to me, the main benefit of the saw cleaver and the saw spear is already gone. Although interesting, its first R1 attack is a lunge forward. I've not actually used this too much, but it is kind of cool. But its default, actually folding it in is the trick. And its default is the curve blade deal. It's very heavy, it's very bulky, which kind of helps solidify the first hunts being very clumsy, I guess. Second blade is trick weapon used by the old hunters. See, this is also a situation where it's not capitalized for old hunters. Now, I've heard some people say that it matters. I've heard other people say that it doesn't. Until I see something otherwise, this is just going to be commoners as far as old hunters go. A second blade is found inside the curve of the main one. In its initial form, the scythe can be wielded like a long, curved sword, but when transformed, its blade is contracted, allowing for quick, repeated stabs. Although this trick weapon allows for adaptive combat, it was later replaced by saws and similar weapons that were more effective at disposing of beasts. So, interesting thing to note, I don't actually have it for this character, but it is similar to Gurman's weapon. It doesn't say anything about it being made of siderite like Gurman's weapon, but the whole like curved blade deal is very similar to the way that Gurman had his deal going. So it's possible that it was modeled after his, and it's kind of proven that this was an earlier time when the beasts were still a somewhat new thing to the common era, and they didn't exactly know what they were dealing with. They just knew that they needed weapons. I mean, it's cool, but again, not gonna use it. Let's take a look at the boom hammer. A trick weapon used by the old hunters and crafted by the workshop heretics, the powder kegs. Giant hammer equipped with a miniature furnace. When ignited and fired, it emits a volley of flame that explodes furiously upon impact. Crush the beasts, then burn them. The brute simplicity of the boom hammer was favored by hunters with an acute distaste for beasts. What? Okay, so that kind of already pokes a hole in that theory. Because if the early powder kegs were all about crushing the beasts and burning them, so maybe Jura is just somebody that figured out that's what beasts were. So then why did they oppose the Healing Church? Why were they heretical in the eyes of the Healing Church? The evidence is here in all the pieces. Real quick, let's do a run back. Also, let's take a look at this Amigdalan arm. This one, the arm of a small Amigdala Great One. I think this is what I'm going to be using primarily for this playthrough, just because it's so wacky. And God, it sounds so gross when it moves. Ugh. So, it's not a trick weapon. It is actually just an arm. Strictly speaking, the Amigdalan arm is no trick weapon of any sort, but certain madmen wield them like clubs, which is appropriate for John Ashford here. It starts as a large, tough, blunt weapon formed of bone, but when extended, the hand quivers as if it were still alive. This kind of makes sense because we did come across several Amigdalan skeletons there. I don't think we come across any NPC hunters that use these, but no, because I think the rest of the NPC hunters that we come across are all going to be church people. So I don't think that this is something that we see somebody else wielding. It is interesting because let's try and make a little assumption here. If this is the arm of an Amigdalan Great One, actually, let's go compare this to Cathedral Ward real quick, and then we'll run back over and pick up all the shit that I left behind because I was talking and not paying attention. Also, does the Amigdala outside of Cathedral Ward still send you back there after it grabs you the first time? Probably not, but that'd be nice. Then I wouldn't have to go back to the dream. I guess I could try it, but then I'm probably just going to wind up getting frenzied and killed. Well, not killed, but it's kind of a waste of health, I guess. I don't know, whatever. We'll try it. We'll see if it'll still send us back. Oh, there was another thing, though, really quickly. When we picked up the Eye of the Blood Drunk Hunter, the first thing that I noticed about this when I looked at it is that it is the same shape as the tonsil stone, and we also get transported by an Amigdala. The second thing that I noticed about this thing is berserk as fuck. Like, this thing looks like it was taken straight out of Berserk, and it's kind of death metal. The Eye of a Blood-Drunk Hunter, its pupil is collapsed and turned to mush, indicating the onset of the Scourge of Beasts. A hunter who goes drunk with blood is said to be taken by the nightmare, destined to wander forever, engaged in an endless hunt. Which, I mean, to a blood-drunk hunter, probably isn't that bad of an existence, honestly. Actually, that's an interesting thought. If a blood-drunk hunter wouldn't be upset about being in a place like that, then it's not really a punishment. No, I think that's being whatever. Also, let's look at this eye pendant. There are 2 cathedrals in the Hunter's Dream. Wait, what? Why is it referred to as the Hunter's Dream here, but the Hunter's Nightmare everywhere else? That kind of further solidifies my theory that the 2 places are connected, and that Gurman probably was somehow summoned to the dream as a way to escape the nightmare. So let me get my whiteboard out here, and I'll make that tally on that line. I've got a bunch of whiteboards going. I've been pulling my hair out over this shit since it came out. And I've got a couple of whiteboards going with different theories and different thought processes going on them. And my main whiteboard has this this thing between 2 main theories of the timeline that I'm trying to figure out. And basically, the 2 main things that are with this part is I can't tell if Gurman. First of all, I can't tell if Gurman died and then was taken to the Hunter's Dream. Second of all, I can't tell if he was taken from the Hunter's Nightmare or if he was taken from the real world whenever he was put in the Hunter's Dream. And this kind of I'm gonna count this as a mark for him being brought to the dream as an escape from the nightmare. Let's see here. Okay, so there are 2 cathedrals in the Hunter's Dream. One lies past the River of Blood. That's the one that we're heading towards now. Or no, I'm sorry. The one that lies past the River of Blood is the one that Lawrence is in. And another contains the private research hall of the Healing Church. That's the one that we're heading towards now. Only chosen members of the Healing Church or their lamentable patients can enter the research hall using this eye. Grant eyes to the surgery altar skull. Alright, when we get to the surgery altar, this is where this is where everything gets kind of cast into a bit of a whirlpool here. But we'll get to that. Let's go look at this Amigdala and its arms real quick while we're here. So yeah, this is very clearly just the skeleton. It gives us an interesting insight as to the anatomy of the Amigdalas, but this looks like it was definitely a smaller one. So I think this one here and the one out and the one out down there and the ones in Yahar'gul, I'm pretty sure they're I think they're bigger than the ones that we fight. But these ones definitely seem more evolved because they've got the tentacles and everything. So I think, and furthermore, we can't do anything to harm them. Any of our attacks are just going to go straight through them. And he's just constantly watching me. Ugh. It can turn its neck in such awkward angles too. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that the ones that we fight are lesser Amigdalas, and these are evolved or like the higher Amigdalas. Let's see. Let's see if he actually takes me back to the Hunter's Dream or if he just fucks my health up. Or the Hunter's Night, whatever. We'll see if he teleports you there a second time or if you just get put back.
Cursed fiends, their children too.
So you get the cutscene every time. Not only will it send you back every time, but you get the cutscene every
And
time.
their children forever true.
I wonder if that's supposed to happen or if that's just a bug that they haven't fixed yet. What would be really interesting is if I showed up and everything was reset and I had to fight Ludwig again. that would be my repayment for being able to beat him first try, which I couldn't have done without the help of those two dudes that just like clearly fucked his day up. Let's see, it's like 5:15. I don't have to take my wife to work until like 8, so we still got plenty of time. Alright, let's grab this shit that I did not... Wait, I could have sworn I grabbed those old hunter trousers, though, at least. And that was the main thing that I wanted to look at. Oh, yeah, I totally did. I was just looking at it backwards. Man. But the whole point that I was going to bring up about these... a widespread belief of the period was that beast blood seeped up through the right leg. This led to the double wrapped belt. What was the other thing I needed to grab while I was here? Oh, the beast clutch. So keep that in mind. I'm gonna make this run real quick to go and grab this clutch, because the clutch is pretty dope. Ah! What you're doing is wrong! You know what? I actually don't think so. You know, I thought about it, but like, no, I really don't think so. No. All of what I'm doing is wrong. All of what I'm doing is foolish. Yeah. We'll grab that. We'll go up here. Okay, let's get a quick look at this dude who clearly oh yes, let's cause a war. I'm going back for those twins right here. Shit. Yes, this is awesome. I'm really just instigating. But for anyone who's wondering, this is actually a really good way to gain up souls without actually doing it. Oh. This guy. Let's get a quick look at his clothing so maybe we can help place him a little bit. Looks like he does not have a sidearm at all. Yeah, see? He uses quickening. Without consuming an item. Nope. Nope. That was all I needed from you. So you can stay there now. I will cheap shot this guy because I can. like how sometimes they'll look back at you, like they know you're there, but their AI won't let them do anything about it. Oh, off the ledge you go. What? They definitely return to ashes just like every other hunter or hostile NPC that you fight. Alright. No, I guess I can... Well, no. I think I'll just warp over to the... Because it's a lot of unnecessary shit. I think those are the only things I really needed to grab. Pretty sure I got everything else of importance from this area. I didn't touch everything that I wanted to touch base with lore-wise, but that's probably because that's just not the way that my mind is working right now, and I'm going to have to... Oh, did they fix this yet? Let's see.
Welcome home,
Nope.
good hunter. What is it you desire? Farewell, good hunter. May you find your worth.
I'm pretty sure that's just... I'm pretty sure that's just a glitch. Or not really glitch, but it's just... I don't know. I don't really think that that's supposed to happen, quote unquote. Oh, I was back at the Hunter's Dream. I was going to show you guys. Gurman, the whole thing about those old hunter trousers, yeah, I'll just explain it real quick. With the whole beast blood sept up through the right leg, or crept up through the right leg, Gurman doesn't have his right leg. He is missing it, whether he took it himself or it was taken from him, which we'll get to that a little bit later, but it's an interesting thing to note either way. You got nothing to say, do you? Also, something interesting about the immortal NPCs of this area, one of them you can take down to 0 health and he still won't die. Ludwig, if you smack him even once, like, you're not going to take out his full health bar, but he'll still die, which is interesting. And later on there are the enlarged heads that are just enlarged heads that whenever you hit them, it's a one-shot kill, but you don't actually do any damage to their health at all, and they just regenerate. I don't know if that's saying something, or if that was just lazy programming, which is another thing that is a problem with chalking a lot of this up to, is that a lot of it could just be misused, or like unfinished programming on the part of FromSoft, because as we've seen in previous games, sometimes they just don't program things right, and shit doesn't happen the way that it's supposed to. For example, yesterday I was playing, and I had rung my small bell outside of Lady Maria's boss fight, and I waited around for about 10 minutes and nobody showed up. So I ran through the Astral Clock Tower and onto the other side of the fishing hamlet, and I kept my bell up. I didn't stop it or anything, but it was about 3 or 4 minutes had passed, and the bell had reset like it does, you know, it says again, searching for a chime of a beckoning bell. And I went into somebody else's world, but they hadn't killed Maria. So I was still in the fishing hamlet, but there was nothing that I could do. And as soon as he activated the boss fight with Lady Maria, my game crashed. And I came back, I reloaded it back up, and I rang my small bell again in the fishing hamlet. And once again, I was immediately brought into somebody else's world that had not killed Lady Maria. They went into the boss fight, my game crashed again. So, if anybody knows where to submit bug reports, I've got quite a few.
Steady stride, colored by blood, but always clear of mind. Proud under the church, beasts are a curse, and curse is a shackle. Only ye, the true blades of the church.
So, I can't really see him right now, but that's Yamamura, who is supposedly a hunter of the League.
Shrouded by night, but with steady stride. Colored by blood, but always clear of mind. Proud under the church. Beasts are a curse, and curse is a shackle. Only ye, the true blades of the church.
So I don't know if he was also associated with the church, or if he was just trapped here by the church. And we'll find out a little bit more into him once we get his garb. Yes, shut up. He's just bashing his head against the wall repeatedly. I actually really hate this part. But here's another bug that I can actually show you guys real quick. So we'll run past these guys, give them a chance to reset themselves and everything. But this, alright, this right here has been the absolute bane of my existence with this DLC. This has been literally driving me insane. So back in the back, once again, you can see very clearly we are in the Grand Cathedral, or the second Grand Cathedral of the Nightmare, whatever. It's kind of neat. There's little like hospital-style beds, making it very evident of the healing churches once using healing properties of the blood, more like a hospital than like an actual church. This one's got a great one's wisdom, which is also interesting. These all pretty much look like people that went through blood transfusions. Actually, I think this is the only corpse, though. So, kind of what I'm gearing at here. Hang on, let's go kill these rats first. This has been driving me crazy, and I can't fucking figure it out. Okay, so in here, we've got 3 rats with glowing eyes. I'm not sure if that's relevant or not, but guarding 3 graves. Whose graves are these? There is no way that it was just put in for, like, extra added effect or whatever. It's gotta have been people of importance. Now, I've got a couple of theories about these, but none of them are... some of them don't make sense, and others are just unsatisfying answers. One theory is that it's a grave for each of the hosts of the nightmares. Maria, Gurman, and Mikolash, or Gurman, Mikolash, and I guess, I don't know, who would even be the host of Amigdala's nightmare if it had one? Probably, I guess, Patches? I don't know. But neither of those really make any sense. I don't know if the carving on here is important or not, but it does have butterflies on the coffin, or moths maybe. I'm not sure if that's of any significance or not, but the great ones that we do run into here, or at least the great one that we run into, has wings. But also, I don't actually think the Orphan of Kos is a great one. And again, I'll get into that a little bit later, but for right now, the other theory that I've got, I think the theory that I've got that makes the most sense, but is an unsatisfying answer, if we look up here, why did I upgrade the Evelyn if I can't use it? Looking up here, you can see the current Vicar kneeling, saying the second half of Vicar Malia's chant.
Were it not for fear, death would go unlamented.
But also heading off to the side, sneaky bitch. Wait, no, but there was a Ludwig blade and a repeating pistol. This fight sucks, but an interesting kind of theory is that maybe these beds were to transfuse people that were becoming vicars or vicars. I don't really know how that's supposed to be pronounced, but I know that it's higher up in a church. So the one thing that I've got that makes the most sense is you've got one dead person here, 2 beds on each side, 2 beds probably for these 2. I'm not gonna say probably because that's this is literally shot in the dark theories here. And then we've got 3 empty beds that I think they're at least dirty, fairly dirty, ruffled. Thinking 3 empty beds for 3 graves over here. But like, there's some hidden symbolism here that I'm. This is one of those things that I might just be looking way too far into, and the answer might be really obvious and staring me right in the face. But there's some symbolism in the whole. There's 3 rats that can see in the dark, but this area, even with the candles, completely dark. So it kind of leads me to believe that this is more symbolic. There were 3 people somehow involved in the healing church, but like in a hidden aspect of it. And these 3 graves were to mark those 3 important people, which I guess you could then go and say Gurman, Maria, and somebody else. Maybe Mikolash, but that I really highly doubt, because I'm kind of leaning towards the theory that Mikolash and the Mensis ritual happen while you're there. Like, that's the hunt that you're going on, is because Mikolash and his school of Mensis have gone rogue. Similarly, Jura was probably the hunter that was selected for the Scourge of Old Yarnum. Yeah, it's I don't know. It's really strange. It's just it's a really out of place little thing here. I can't really think of any other reason that it would. I mean, it's got to be important. What's this guy say? Beware of alertness. Beware of alertness. Pointing to the graves. What do you know? What do you don't know anything. You know what? You're just fucking with my head. That's for you. Okay, so here's the bug I noticed today with these 2 guys. Oh wait. Yeah, let's see if he walks back there. Sometimes, okay, I don't think it happens this time. This weapon is hilarious. So sometimes, it happened to me earlier too. Sometimes he will get stuck. Oh, he kind of started to get stuck for a second. But it's like his like aggro range like changes, and he'll get stuck behind there to the point where you can walk right up on him and nothing will happen. Like, he'll just stand there. You can bash him to death. If you push him too far with your attacks though, then he'll come and attack you. But sometimes he'll get stuck like on the other side of that chair. Yeah, see how he kind of wigged out for a second there? Didn't happen this time, but... Stand your ground. Stand your ground. Woo. Still? Why the church ghouls are here. I don't know. There's got to be some sort of significance to them. But anyways, now that those guys are dead, let's take a look in some of these things here. Got Frenzied Cold Blood. A bunch of locked gates. Pretty sure that's also just a Cold Blood. Wait. Is there any sort of significance to the gear that this hunter is wearing? Or is it just Yharnam Hunter gear again? Motherfucker. Yeah, it's just Yharnam Hunter gear. But something that we'll read later on states that... oh, yeah, I really need to go and get that key. States that basically this area... Once I get the key, I'll remember it. But this is where the church locked people who basically knew too much. So... You've got Yamamura in there, clearly going crazy. 2 daddies. Down here, we have Brandor. Yeah, I'll just, I'll let him sort of speak for himself here. As you can see, kind of, he's got a bell. He rings it, and it makes no noise.
Are you a hunter? Well, that's very odd. Do you hear the toll of the bell?
No.
Very well. The beast you seek will not be found here. Go back to your hunt, and if you have the chance, put this night behind you. Places better left untouched. Secrets better left alone. Here forwards brazenly roam.
So he's actually wearing the hide of a cleric beast that was a friend of his that he killed. And then he locked himself down here voluntarily. But I'm not going to get too much into that because a lot of it's going to be explained through his gear. So far, we've got Yamamura in one cell down at the very end. So something that he saw or did was pretty fucked. Because he's alive and dashing his head repeatedly. Brandor's down there, pretty much straight chilling. In here, we've got... Oh no, this isn't the right room. Damn it. In this one, actually, you can kind of see him. Is a hostile hunter. A Yahar Ghoul hunter, nonetheless. Oh, wait a minute. That's kind of interesting. Again, I'll get to that in a little bit. Whew. And this hulking woman is Gradia, who gives us the Fist of Gradia. Actually, before I start going over this, I'm gonna go ahead and ring my beckoning bell because this area sucks so hard, and I really want somebody to help me gank these dudes. There's unfortunately not really a whole lot to be said about Gradia. If the gear that she's wearing kind of looks like Yharnam Hunter gear. Let's read her one item description. Chunk of iron fitted with finger holes. The hulking hunter woman, simple Gratia, ever hopeless when handling firearms, preferred to knock the lives out of beasts with this hunk of iron, which incidentally caused heavy stagger. That's pretty brutal. Like, you can't shoot firearms, but like instead, I'm going to make this hunk of metal with finger holes that I'm just going to knock the living hell out of things with. Gradia was a fearsome hunter, and to onlookers, her unrelenting pummeling appeared oddly heroic. No wonder this weapon later assumed her name. This is pretty much all that I've got on Gradia. I mean, we know that she apparently discovered something that she wasn't supposed to. But it's interesting to note that her cell door is open. It is not locked. So I don't know if that was like a previous thing or what, but it definitely looks like she's praying when she died. or when she finally gave up, whatever. I would really like to look at her face. I really wish that this was not the circumstances that we found her. Or like, if maybe, I don't know, we could summon her for something. I don't know. I just feel like this was really... I really feel like this was shoehorned in there without... I mean, again, maybe there's something I'm missing. We're talking about a spider web of so much stuff that I have to figure out through all of this. But, I'm getting there. I'm slowly but surely getting there. I don't know if anybody's even playing right now for me to be able to gank these people. But let's look at a couple of things in here. These, I think I can't remember if you find them in Bergenworth or not, but I think you see these statues in Bergenworth too. They're definitely in the Upper Cathedral ward. And, that, I wouldn't really say it's interesting, but because the next area you can kind of tell was the beginnings of the choir. I'm also not sure about why these lanterns emit green light. That's another kind of interesting thing. Are there other dudes? Oh, you're like fighting stuff on. Oh, but in case you're wondering, whenever you do finally summon somebody in here, this right here, standing right here, is where your bell chiming woman's gonna be. Figured that out today. That was kind of neat. I guess we can, we'll do our best here. But let's roll up on here, but not too close so that we can hear her dialogue a little bit.
Into the depths. Oh, remain wary of the frailty of men. Their wills are weak, minds young. Were it not for fear, death would go unlamented. But beware the frailty of men. Their wills are weak, minds young. The foul beasts will tangle nectar and lure the meek into the depths. Oh, remain wary of the frailty of men. Their wills are weak, minds young. Were it not for fear, death would go.
Body said he believes that this is Vicar Amelia, or Amelia, I guess. I don't necessarily think that that's, it could be. I think there's a missing link. I think this is probably the person who, like, passed it down to Amelia. So what she's saying is the second half of Vicar Amelia's chant, which I believe is the, I guess, Vicar's, I guess, adage, words, whatever. What she's saying is, but beware the frailty of men, their wills are weak, minds young. The foul beasts will dangle nectar and lure the meek into the depths. Remain wary of the frailty of men, their wills are weak, their minds are young. Were it not for fear, death would go unlamented. Wait. Minds young. Were it not for fear. Yeah. And then she just recycles, I think. Yeah. So the part that's left out that she's not saying is, seek the old blood, let us pray, let us wish. To partake in communion, let us partake in communion, and feast upon the old blood. Our thirst for blood satiates us, soothes our fears, seek the old blood. I don't know, it seems kind of unlikely that Lawrence didn't know that the old blood was going to lead to some sort of scourge. Just based on the fact that he had to have been down there in the Tomb of the Gods. He had to have been down in the Chalice dungeons, and he had to have, like, that's got to be where it was discovered, because that's what Alfred tells us, is that the holy medium was found deep within the church, or deep within the tomb. And it's just sort of, I don't know, it would be, he would have to be really oblivious to not know that there was something wrong with the old blood. But I don't know. Let's try to progress here a little bit. I don't think anybody's gonna show up. The good thing about this fight, though, is that she will stay from afar and cast at you, while she kind of comes and tries to, like, beef fight with you. So I'm going to lure her down below and just try to bait a bunch of visceral attacks and kill her first, and then come back up here for this other chick. So, what's up? Come on, let's go. It's a good thing that spell has, like, no sort of range. Come on, down here into the chambers. Come to my domain. Here we go. That's one. Oh, wow. This might take a minute. Doop. Doopity doop doopity doop. Wow, that's 3 in a row. Come on. Wow, I walked right into that. Alright, you, I'm gonna come back down here in a second. What are you doing? Come on. Your buddy's not gonna help you. She doesn't care. Come on, Garrett. I'll take that health back. I can't see through the lantern. Wow. Okay, yeah, I guess you can do that too, huh? No. Ah, that was convenient. Man, I'm running out of healing. This is dumb. I'm doing dumb shit. Here we go. Alright. Come on. I'm going way too soon. Yeah! Oh, the cheese is real! How real is the cheese? Oh, the chest is not really enough.
Those who pry into the unknown.
Okay, but that is kind of something that I need to trigger anyways. Brandor will always say to you, unending death awaits those who pry into the unknown. He is guarding the secrets of the Healing Church, which we will get into a little bit later as well. That was really poor fighting on my part. I've been awake for a long time today. Let's see. Alright, I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick. Get myself another drink real fast. In the meantime, I'm going to return to the Hunter's Dream. I will return shortly. Okay. Got myself some more Pepsi. Ooh, wrong pipe. Let's see if Grumman's here. Excuse me. I am so sorry. Maybe I should switch up my runes a little bit. What am I using right now? Defense, Quicksilvers, and Stamina, of course. Impurity rune. Something else that's kind of interesting that I've been thinking about here lately. There's a lot of instances where Grumman is not here. More often whenever he's supposedly sleeping. I don't think he just shows up on this other side. I think he only comes and unlocks this gate. He only comes and unlocks this whenever the time has come for the dream to end, and he goes and he waits for you at the base of the tree. I think that whenever he is actually dreaming, his consciousness kind of drifts in and out. Of course, he's not here, so I can't show you that he's missing his leg. What am I doing? Alright, let's head back. We'll try that again. I'll try it one more time, and if I can't progress past this point, then I will probably kill them off camera and just end this here for that. But if I can kill them, then I'm going to go and show you guys some of the stuff that I've noticed about the surgery altar, as well as Lawrence's throne. Because there are some things that I noticed about Lawrence's throne that nobody else that I've come across, at least. If somebody else has noticed this, then I apologize for even saying this. But there are some things about that throne that I noticed that I don't think anybody else has quite noticed. What? Oh, god damn it. Why do I keep pressing that button? Okay. Let's roll up here. I am going to kill you. Just in case somebody can come in. Let me, I'm gonna have to plug this controller in because it's also dying. And of course, The cable is missing. That only makes sense. I'm also going to load this. Oh, yeah. So, no. No. We're done listening to you. We'll load that in a second. Out here. Alright, hang out here for a second. Because I gotta find that charger real quick. I think it's just in this drawer right here. There we go. Alright, let's plug this controller in so it doesn't die on me mid-fight, like it always likes to do. Actually, the very first time, this is kind of funny, the very first time that I went to fight Ludwig, I got him almost all the way down, and right as I was starting to get away from him, my controller died. I didn't notice it saying that the battery was low. It was probably low when I started playing, but the controller died, and I just stood there and I took a moonlight sword straight to the face when he had like 8 pixels worth of health left. That was probably the most irritated I have ever been with a video game console ever, and that's saying something because like I played Super Mario 3. And like those later levels of Super Mario 3, especially those ships, ugh, fucking cannons everywhere. Damn, man. It's also interesting to note that this particular version of the Cathedral has books still. So it doesn't really look like whenever everybody else left. I mean, it kind of seems like the only person that remains in the Healing Church is Vicar Amelia. And by the time we come across her, she starts to transform into a beast. But she might have already kind of been losing her shit prior to that. I did notice that she clearly picked the pendant as her starting gift. That's enough to drive anybody crazy, so I give her credit for that. She lasted a lot longer than I did. That that pendant actually pissed me off more than anything in any of these games. Like, spending all that time trying to figure out what it does, only to find out that it literally does nothing. I think you can trade it to the crows for something, but it's essentially a useless item. That's part of why a lot of the stuff in this kind of irritates me. Alright. Because it's entirely possible that, like, it was just put there specifically to fuck with people like me who are sitting here trying to depict and decipher every single day. Oh yeah, I guess before I bring her down here to fight, I should probably kill... come on. You... Or up here, where you go? Ha! Stairs. Wheelchair man. Aw. Oh, we made it through. I just think it's hilarious that the wheelchair guy can see through here. You have some blood vials for me? No, of course not. Alright, let's go kill this other dude. This is a hilarious weapon. Fantastic. Alright,
This time I'm not going to rely so much on visceral attacks. In fact, first blood is mine. Oh shit! What?
Minds young, the foul beast.
In fact, I don't know why I didn't think about doing this to you sooner. Bitch. Seriously, get some salt. Both assholes for that one. But mostly you. Come on. Whoa, you're smart. I almost feel bad for healing, but this build kind of sucks. Wow. She hasn't used her gun yet. She's gonna get me down to health, and she's gonna cap me one, isn't she? Alright. I don't want to take the risk. What? What? What health do you have? Fuck you. Come on. Oh. Yeah, this build is not very good. And all she drops is a madman's knowledge, because, like, yeah, of course, right? You don't need anything after that. You need a madman's knowledge. That's your reward for doing that. Oh. Oh, come on. Eat the sludge. Do you have any idea how much stamina I have? That one by herself is pretty easy. And at least she drops quicksilver bullets. But alright, now we can get a more proper look at this place. Damn. So we've got the surgery altar here. So I went back and I checked it out. I don't think I can show screenshots on here, otherwise that would be really convenient. But a couple of things that are interesting about this. We've got a guy with a book, perhaps casting a spell or something. Probably not casting a spell. Perhaps reading scriptures from Bergenworth, or just perhaps even notes taken from personal experiences. You've got a kind of minister-like looking person in a hat that is similar to the one that Master Willem wears, but it is not the same. His is kind of more reminiscent of a trident, sort of. This one kind of folds off into the sides, and Willem's also has
mounds where his eyes are on his, and this one's kind of smooth. Also, obviously, Willem doesn't have a beard. However, that does not rule out that this is Willem. It's possible that this is also Willem in his earlier age, and I will explain that a little bit more. This part here is kind of lore heavy as far as my timeline placement and stuff goes, as far as like the ideas that I have here. We also have another person with a bell, which is further interesting. Now, what do we know about bells? The bells that the messengers bring us are from the labyrinths below, and they have the capability to cross realms. Or not, I keep using the word realms for lack of a better term, honestly. I guess it technically says they allow the ability to cross worlds. So it would make sense if that wasn't just talking about us and our worlds. It would also make sense if it was talking about linking to other worlds as far as the Great Ones and the cosmos and everything like that. So that would make more sense, especially since there are bells present. Very few. There are bells present in the labyrinths below. So that kind of gives a little bit more insight as to what exactly is going on here. We've also got a patient. This actually looks like a legitimate corpse. This might be a legitimate corpse, but if it is a legitimate corpse, it is legless. Now, whether it's legless because of amputation, or if it is legless because of just decay and rot, who's to say? But that's kind of irrelevant here right now. So we've got one person that is maybe speaking words or just forging the arcane around them, in a sense. It kind of looks like a combination of a scientific surgery and some sort of a ritual to gain insight, in a sense. Is kind of what I believe I'm going for here. It is also interesting to note here, I'm kind of standing in the way of it. Down below here, we've got a beast hiding under the table. Now, this is what signifies the blood, the existence of the blood. Provost Willem said, "Evolution without courage will be the destruction of mankind." Something along those lines. I'm paraphrasing because I don't feel like looking it up right now. So basically what I think is that Lawrence probably was one of the people that discovered the old blood deep below and was like, "Yo, Willem, this stuff is powerful. This has the capability to further mankind and like progress the race, like evolve, essentially." And Willem was like, "Well, that's probably possible. What good is it going to be for us to evolve as creatures if we don't have the knowledge to wrap our minds around the elder truth?" So sought insight, but still knew the significance of the blood in the evolution of mankind. So basically, he knew that the old blood was cursed, but probably not until later. But he did know that the blood was powerful. He also believed that it was meaningless if it weren't for insight. You could kind of look at Willem and Lawrence as the two driving forces of the two main soft stats, basically. Willem sought insight. Willem sought to line his eyes with brains, line his brain with eyes. Willem sought Willem sought to line his brain with eyes in order to elevate his thought and comprehend further. But as it kind of turns out, the human mind is pretty fragile when it comes to what the actual truth is of what's actually out there. Okay, this is getting important. I'll continue here in just a moment. I'll try to wrap this up, but basically this is I think that what we're looking at the surgery altar is the foundation for everything. The foundation for Bergenworth, the foundation for the Healing Church. There's a reason that this elevator goes up and ascends, and Lawrence's throne is beneath it. And it's because if it weren't for the elevated consciousness, if it weren't for the elevated teachings of Master Willem, his throne would not be able to exist. Lawrence's Healing Church would not be able to exist. And there's a lot of evidence that he favored blood. He probably did favor blood. I mean, he passed it out to all of the Arnhemites so much so that it was like alcohol. It was more valuable than alcohol because it was so intoxicating to people, and everybody loved it. And everybody in Yharnam was just looked at as, by outsiders, they just kind of did not. I think I kind of, well, how do I explain this? The way that's beside the point, because still at the same time, Lawrence, or at least somebody in the Healing Church, had to have formed the choir, and the choir basically furthered Willem's research into insight. So Lawrence knew that Willem was right. He knew that evolution without courage would be the destruction of mankind. And I think he was a lot smarter than we were initially giving him credit for. I think that it's just, while he maybe favored blood, he still knew the importance of the knowledge. He still knew the importance of insight and getting to the next level before taking that leap, I guess, if that makes sense. Now, my theory is that this is the ritual that took place to grant Rom eyes. I believe that this is Rom. I believe that this is supposed to be a younger Willem. And I believe that these guys are, well, I mean, they could be, like, higher-ups. I believe they're at least possibly scholars of Bergenworth, if nothing else. It's also entirely possible, because if you notice, if you get up in here and look, again, this could be left out due to translating, or not translating, this could be left out due to programming, or it could actually be on purpose, but these are not formed beings inside of here. These are empty. These are empty. There are no faces. There are no heads in these. They are essentially formless. So it's possible that these are supposed to be like spirits, eldritch spirits in some sense. Again, I'm trying not to make too far of a leap into that, because that could be on purpose, that could not. But I kind of believe that this is signifying Lawrence's beckoning of Kos to grant Rom eyes. And further, once we get to the brain fluid, I'll give you a little bit more of an interesting theory into that. But I think that whenever Willem called Kos, that he lined his brain with eyes and struck Rom vacuous. But I think that was... I think that Kos showed Willem a little bit of what exactly the other side truly meant. And I think that it terrified him, and I think that Willem needed, if not just absolutely, it was necessary to safeguard the world from the truth, and that is what birthed Rom, essentially. I think Rom might have been one of the scholars at Bergenworth. I know supposedly Miyazaki referred to Rom as a female. That might be relevant, but I'll get into that later too. But I believe that because whenever he called the Great One, I'm sure that his associates, including his apprentice, I use that term loosely, but including Lawrence, at least, And I think Garmin was probably there for this as well. But that's, again, something I'll get into later. But I think that initially they believed that Willem was going to call upon Kos, or call upon a Great One, to grant them evolution. But because Kos showed him what the other side truly meant, he knew that it wasn't something that mankind was ready for. It wasn't something that he was ready for. And the world would truly be in a very dark place if he had not put Ram in place as a safeguard. Because the Bergenworth spider hides all manner of rituals. And I also heard people place Ram as sort of like a dream catcher. Like the Moonside Lake is like a dream catcher, and Ram is the spider that softly keeps the nightmare from the waking world. So yeah, that's a little bit into that, a little bit more than I kind of wanted to get, but I'm sorry, I'm rambling at this point, so let's go ahead and progress. Oh, but real quick, the one thing that does possibly poke a hole in that theory, that this is Lawrence, or that this is Willem, and this is the beckoning of Kos to grant Ram eyes. I noticed that the garb that is being worn by each of these is a different form of the Healing Church garb. That could be coincidental. It could be borrowed from Bergenworth, but they do all kind of have that Shaw. This one being the longest, so it's possible this was supposed to be Lawrence. So this might be something different, but I'll get into that a little bit later once we get up to the Astral Clock Tower and to the next areas. Eyes on the inside. Then we are literally elevated. This is the basis of thought for the School of the Choir. And now we have found the old research hall of the Healing Church. Do I want to go down there and grab that right now? Oh man, I'm gonna tell you right now, the first time I played through this place, it scared the living hell out of me, which was good. I was really surprised. Like, I was kind of happy that I went to a place. Oh, this place is really well done. Yes, it is kind of Duke's Archives 2.0 in some aspects. I can see where people get that comparison, but it is also the research hall. You have to respect that it is the research hall. Reimagining of the Duke's Archives, perhaps in a sense, but it is also the research hall. It is its own thing, and I've heard a lot of people say this place is kind of light on lore. And that is so far from the case. There's so much here in this place, and you just have to see. And I think that's kind of the overall theme of the game too, which is really interesting. I can't remember if I want that stuff or not, but yeah, walking right in here, and then just something immediately jumps off and kills itself. The atmosphere is real, and it's gorgeous.
Has someone seen my eyes? I'm afraid I dropped them in a puddle. Everything's pale now.
Sounds so much like Salad Fingers. At least that's what it reminded me of. God, this
so goofy. Oh, my life's alarms are going off. It's like 6:19. I really like this. I kind of want to make a viable build where this is important, where this is not important, but like usable. But it doesn't really look like it's got very good scaling, like ever. And that kind of sucks. I mean, the range is one thing, so I guess you can kind of say it's like the polar opposite to the stake driver. It does okay damage, but like always going to be at a distance. I mean, it does more damage at base than the axe does, I think. Yeah. Well, this is +1, but I think 92 is higher than the axe. I might have to check, but it is kind of cool. Thick iron cleaver slices through the toughest beast hides. Yeah, this crude weapon relies on brute force and is regrettably inelegant, suggesting that the hunts of the earliest hunters made for horrific affairs, painted in sanguine blacks and reds. Which is interesting because both Gurman and Maria use more skill-based weapons. They're more elegant and, like, swift, I guess you could say. But I guess you could say that beast... What is it actually called? Beast cutter? That's kind of lame. I like the clutch. So... I mean, I guess you could see it as like the polar opposite to the stake driver. It's got really good range, mediocre damage, but probably really good stagger with that range. It's kind of like the next level up of the threaded cane. So I guess that's kind of cool. Whereas the stake driver's got a lot of power and it's heavy hits, but it also has shit scaling. Oh, okay. Oh, what am I doing? I was supposed to go back and get blood vials and I got distracted talking about Willem and all that shit. So I don't know. If I could get it early enough, like if the DLC started it like after you killed the blood-starved beast, maybe I could use it for a bit. But by the time you've killed Vicar Amalia, I mean, I personally don't go and kill Vicar Amalia, Amelia, whatever. God damn. I personally don't go and kill her until after I've done the blood-starved beast, because I never buy the Hunter Chief emblem. See, it's still sitting there. I always go the route of do Old Yarnum first, go to Upper Cathedral Ward, and let yourself out on the other side, because, like, fuck that Crest of Artorias bullshit. And then I go and I kill the Witch of Hemwick before I kill Vicar Amelia. Maybe Dark Beast Parle. It's kind of hit or miss. Sometimes I won't even kill Dark Beast Parle at all because, like, fuck it, you know? But if I do go and kill him, I usually kill him before Vicar Amelia. Is this A level? This is probably A level. A singular level.
Welcome. What is it? Very well. Let the echoes become your strength.
Give me
Let
my
me stand
strength. Yeah. Actually, this might be... No, I don't need a level right now. This would be better spent. Oh, fuck. What do the guys in Research Hall drop? Do they drop Quicksilver bullets? I think they mostly drop Quicksilver bullets, but I don't really remember them dropping a whole lot of anything, to be honest. I guess I don't need Quicksilver bullets to go through this next area, but it might be nice to have them for the living failures. I really don't feel like going and farming right now, so I'm just going to buy a bunch of blood vials, and that'll be that. Kind of sucks that some of the new DLC stuff wasn't added to these loading menus, especially since, you know, this is where I get most of my reading done at. I mean, I get that a lot of the, like, surprise items aren't on there for a reason. What you gotta say? Local mob, therefore no mercy for inquisitiveness. Dude, quit just throwing random stuff together, man. Nothing but madness here. Like, see? That's subtle, that's nice.
You get an appraisal. I'm not gonna foul your note, but I'm not gonna give you anything either, so. Time for madness. No, you just copied off the other guy. Again, I'm not gonna do anything to that one. You wear a malformed thing. Yeah, that's a legitimate warning. Bonfire is effective? You mean fire? You know, that's actually a thing. Why do I keep doing that? Okay. Let's do some transform. Wow. That's okay. Yeah, I can do this. Oh, God damn, I hate those things. They scream and they run at you and they huck their arms about. The whole place is a damn asylum. But check this out. Okay. Okay. No, I'm not going to go into that right now. But this is the rune for communion. Now, this kind of helps us place this area, though, as far as the timeline goes. The Carol runes, it states in the item description for the rune workshop tool, Provost Willem would have been proud of Carol's runes, as they do not rely upon blood in any measure. So probably after Willem called Rom, probably shortly after that, he forbade all sort of research. Like, he probably just told them basically to, he probably, also being touched by an eldritch truth, he probably couldn't actually physically communicate with other human beings the same way that he once did before, because his mind probably at least cracked a little bit. Granted, it probably grew. He probably elevated his thought quite a bit, this is true, but it also probably like weakened the link to his communication with other human beings, and that's what led to people abandoning him at Bergenworth. Also, given the two people that he had left with him, it's possible that... Oh shit, why did I do this? Also, given the two people that are left with him, it's a possibility that he kicked everybody out after Lawrence left. But if it states that Provost Willem would have been proud of them, that kind of leads me to believe that the name Carol is kind of ambiguous there, because I believe it's kind of different in the actual Japanese translation. God damn it, that attack sucks so hard. I'm going to refer to Carol as a she. For the sake of convenience, because I'm pretty sure that it's a she. I mean, the name Carol spelled like that, I could kind of see it going either way. But, dude, you just went right back to where you were. And I ran right back in here again, like an asshole. I'm sorry. I keep disrupting you guys' time. Oh, man. All of what I'm doing is dumb. Every last bit of it. 40 endurance. Oh, you never see somebody roll back around. Yes, the clipping is real. Alright, so this gonna take some getting used to, but so the Cathedral room for communion is here. Now, granted, it does state that the okay, a secret symbol left by Carol, runesmith of Bergenworth. So Carol was initially of Bergenworth. Again, I'm going to refer to her as a she from this point on, because that's what I think is the case. If I am later, if anybody knows any text that proves otherwise or anything, please let me know, because that would be the ultimate sinker for this theory. And if it can either be this major theory that I have, if it can either be proven or squashed, I will be a giant burden lifted off of my shoulders either way. But for the sake of everything, I believe that Carol is a woman. So several runes relate to blood, including communion, which raises the maximum number of blood vials. This rune represents the healing church and its ministers. Blood ministration is, of course, the pursuit of communion. So, being kind of a symbol for the healing church, it is on all of these signs. This one says basement room, second floor. Also, the signs are noted with, you can always tell what floor you're on if you look at these signs, because they've got the Roman numerals on them. And also this weird scripture that isn't actually something that exists. It's at several points throughout the game. It's pretty much specifically to make you pull your hair out. Let's run down here and fight these dudes. Oh, it's an outstretch. That's cool. Wow. This weapon's neat. It's really, really wacky, but it's neat. So if the Carol rune for the healing church is here, it's kind of obvious that this is a place for the healing church. Also, keep in mind that Carol was a scholar of Bergenworth. Not initially. Like, she didn't show up during the era of the healing church. She was at Bergenworth. She was a scholar of Bergenworth herself. But probably whenever she discovered the method of the Carol runes was after Willem had either lost his mind or was, like, oh, this fucking guy. I really don't like this guy. In fact, oh man, is there any way that I can avoid that, actually? Fuck it, I'm just gonna go up there. So, this is definitely a building of the healing church. But I guess... kinda want that out. Fuck! I do that every time! Oh. I mean, I guess it basically moves kind of like the pit guys stacking on them. So, they're just beefy and they do a lot of damage. Oh, cool, I actually needed that. Oh, yes. Ugh. Can I make this jump? Oh, yes! Whoa! Wrong direction. I knew you were there, I just didn't know which side. Fuck yes! I didn't know you could make that jump. Oh, and quicksilver bullets. Oh, get me. Oh, that that transform L1 is pretty quick. That's nice. Although I guess it could be said, yeah, now we're on the 3rd floor. We were on the 4th floor, now we're on the 3rd floor. Oh, what am I doing? Why do I keep knocking over bottles? Why am I not looking at my feet in this area? Every time there's an area to sneak up on a motherfucker, there are bottles at my feet, and I'm going to just walk over and kick over, and then everything is going to know right where I'm at, and then I got to kill all those suckers again. Whatever. I guess it could be said, well, no, never mind. I actually just mentally found out that was Oh, that's got power. Wow. That's a decent combo. Oh, I hate you. Oh. Get off. Those guys are so dangerous. Oh no. Oh. Wow, that's okay. This place is so fucking confusing. Oh, I should have sense fortressed his ass. Oh, and now he sees me. Ha. Buddy's dumb. Oh, actually, I think what I am doing is... Oh, no, that door's locked. And off we go. Oh, damn it. Oh, I kind of wanted to be here anyways.
Blop, blip, blop. Splish, splash, splish, splash.
Okay, you'll notice there are different tiers to these guys' heads. So this guy's is got a decent amount of movement in it, and it's a pretty decent size. Some of them have ones that are heads that are slightly bigger than that, but that are just like writhing and just crashing all over the place. And then you've got other ones that have really small heads. Let me see if I can find one of the ones with really small heads. Some of them have really small heads that I don't know how they move. I'll have to look. Oh, it's one of those. Some of these dudes move like wolves, and that really sucks. Alright, let's watch my feet this time. Okay. Okay. Alright. Oh! That's okay. I guess I didn't need that too bad. So yeah, that guy had a kind of smaller head and it wasn't really moving around a whole lot.
laboratory second floor. The flavor of the... This is cheap. Because fuck all that. I hate these things, but I really hate the naked ones, and I hate the ones that move like werewolves. Alright. Oh no, he's looking right at me. I thought he was turning around. Whoa. They're so close, but I think I'm second. Oh, Jesus. But yeah, these guys have smaller heads. Also, when they die, they just stop moving. But you can kind of see what looks like several different faces on these ones. Like, right about here is kind of like a mouth on one. About here would be one eye socket. A little bit over off to the side would be another. On the front here, you've got about a mouth here. Wrappings around the eyes, kind of. It just kind of looks like the outlines of several different faces. So I think there were different tiers to these guys. Because if we actually run back in here and look at the other guy, granted his head is bigger, does also kind of look like more heads, but his is a little bit more amorphous, and I don't know, it doesn't quite look as much like more faces. I mean, you can kind of see them. You could make the same argument for this one, that they're just kind of writhing in and out of each other. Like, we don't know what's going on underneath that bag. We have no idea. I think that's part of what makes these things so terrifying. That and their friggin' 4 or 5 time run and windmill you attack. That sucks. Alright, oh, but this is part of what proves that Yusefka's clinic was either a part of this, or is reminiscent of this. Regardless, it's parallel to this area. Where else? I mean, like, unless it's super lazy and they just took the same tables and put them back in here, which I don't think they would do. But I noticed the first time, I mean, I guess it's possible because there are also chains there, but this place, it makes a little bit more sense. Where else in this game would you ever find, like, examination tables that have such, like, not carved out, like finely crafted iron tables like this? The only other place that you ever see them is Yusefka's clinic. Now, I'm not gonna go too far into that, but if that connection is solid, you can form your own implications about that one. That's got its own craziness too. Oh. No, you know what? We're actually, no. Oh, shit. Holy shit, that scared the hell out of me. I forgot all about those rats. Wow. It is not that serious, you guys. Oh, actually now it is. Now it's crazy. Whew. Right, so, oh, we gotta go up from here. So, we can also assume that Carol was associated probably very closely to this place. Because this is the first place that we really start to see the Carol runes kind of outside. Unless I'm wrong, if anybody knows of a place
that they are, where you actually see the runes in the real world, please let me know, because I've been searching to try and find if there are any Carol runes that are etched out like that. But as far as I can tell, the only places are usually, I think they're all in the DLC, and this being one of them. So I think Carol was very closely associated to Lawrence in the Healing Church. And eventually, once I go to a couple of discoveries here, I'm going to make a tiny bit of a leap of faith, but I think after I explain it, it might make more sense. But so, these guys up here experimenting on the head beings, and the man in the wheelchair that gives us our blood transfusion. Now, obviously they're not the exact same, but it is similar garb. I'm pretty sure the wheelchairmen are doctors of the Healing Church. The ones that we meet in Yharnam are remnants of what was the Healing Church, and that's how he is sending. When Gurman says, Lawrence, what's taking you so long? Lawrence, even in his demise, had these safeguards in place that would allow him to still send hunters to Gurman and one day hopefully free him from the dream. I feel like Lawrence and Gurman were probably pretty close to each other, and I think that's what he was doing the whole time. Because we get here, we get to this place, and it's even more clear. These people are in clinics. These people are in the research hall of the Healing Church. Like, there's almost no doubt in my mind that they're doctors at this point, and that's what they've been doing, is experimenting with the blood. And by the time we show up into the picture, they know at least enough of what they're doing to be able to send somebody to Gurman when the time is right. I believe we were sent because our initial nightmare purpose was the School of Mensis going rogue, granting themselves audience with Murgo, and bringing about that nightmare. I feel like that was our cause, sort of like Jura's cause when he went through the dream was probably the scourge of Old Yharnam. But also, something I saw over here, that's definitely a face. So, now looking at these guys, I think there's no doubt in my mind that with these smaller heads, those are just multiple faces wrapped around it. Which just makes these, well, maybe not so much that one, but this guy definitely looks like it. Now he's at an awkward angle. But that does kind of look like several different faces wrapped around, like they were just growing faces, or facial features even. Some Junji Ito shit. But, again, we don't know what is underneath those bags. So that's, again, what makes it so goddamn terrifying. But they are definitely just sacks. Like, the head does not look like this big pink and white amorphous blob. That headpiece is actually like a sack that goes over top of the head. So what's going on underneath that is what's really happening. And I'm pretty sure they're turning into celestial emissaries. Oh, fuck. I gotta do this. Oh, wait a minute. Do I have the means to give that hunter the cheese? I have one Molotov. Whatever. I'm gonna go get that open first. Oh, and whenever we open up that second elevator, I'll show you guys, share with you a little insight in case you were curious as to something that I found when going up that elevator.
Is that you, Lady Maria? No. Your son.
Now, this is going to help tremendously. So we now see somebody who is at least sane enough to hold conversation with us. And when we first meet Adeline, Saint Adeline, her head is rather small. It's not moving at all. And she is incredibly coherent when she's talking to us compared to the rest of the people. She's basically the only sane person that we've come across in this area, besides Simon later on. Chester 2.0, we'll worry about that when the time comes. But her head has no movement. Granted, it's bigger, so at some point she might have been starting the transformation, but it looks like her thoughts have long silenced. And the head is still.
Please, could you do something for me? I need brain fluid. Murky, mushy brain fluid.
And we gotta find her brain fluid. Hang on. My wife's alarm has been going off for a minute now. Oh my god. Okay, so I got this open. I'm gonna do a couple more things real quick. I'm gonna have to end the stream for a little bit so that I can take my wife to work. But pretty much immediately, it'll take me like 30 minutes, and then I'm gonna come back. I don't know if I'll leave this particular stream open because I feel like that's a waste of bandwidth. But, is that even a thing anymore? Whatever. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run here in about 10 minutes, probably more like 40 minutes. I'm gonna take my wife to work, and then I'm gonna come back and reopen a new stream and tackle the second half of this. But I want to at least try to get up to the top and finish my thoughts here. Oh hell. What am I doing? This place is so confusing. So, if I can find one of them. Oh, that's where that lock shield is too, which is nice for my arcane build. Down to go back up and other stupid things. This whole level is like a Dr. Seuss book, which is fun in some instances, but like makes my head hurt in others. Maybe from, well, I guess from here. It's got to be from here, right? Well, that leads all the way back down.
Lady Murray, save me, please. I don't hear anything.
Dude, that's definitely a bunch of faces. Those are gross. It's gotta be. And it looks like there's like mouths and stuff writhing in it. Maybe I've been looking at this game for too long, but her head is moving, but very slowly. Also, they've got collars on. Jesus. Probably to contain it. But in those corpses, especially, like these ones,
really. You can tell that they were just normal-sized heads of people at one point. Those are just sacks. Maybe it's just the eyeballs on the other side. Maybe that's the beginning of the winter lanterns, but I feel like that's too convenient of an answer. What the hell? Oh, I've got to go this way. That's right. Okay. Of course, that always brings these guys over here. Go in here real quick. It would be nice if I could close the doors behind me.
But I won't do it again. I promise. Darkness. It frightens me.
Okay. Let's look at these individually. This guy?
Just kill me. Free me from this place before I go mad.
So, he pretty much just wants us to kill him. I usually oblige, just because I feel like it's kind of partially my duty, so I'm gonna do that. This chick over here.
Someone help me. I'm guilty. I know. But I won't do it again. I promise. The dumb darkness. It frightens me. And what rises from its deadly depths.
Hers is like... Maybe it's just because she's like writhing her head around a lot, but it looks like it's a lot more active. And I don't know what she means by she's guilty or what it is that she did, but that's not the first time that we're going to hear something kind of along that theme. Later on, Saint Adeline says something about, I'll do good, I promise. Something along those lines, but...
Lady Maria, please take my hand. Please help me. Don't let me drown.
I think they're partially going mad because of the drip drop sound. And it's going to make a little bit more sense once we grab. Because you can, of course, just like the Lucille monsters in Dark Souls 1, we're going to come across the actual headpiece of these. So that'll be nice. I'm actually not going to fuck with this dude this time. Last time I made the jump. This time I'm going to run. Deuces. Ah! You can't get through that door. Don't try! Jesus, that's good. Oh. That's also interesting. Aside from the fact that he's apparently a terrible shot tonight. This morning. But they're hostile towards one another. So these guys probably all broke out and have been trying to make their way up to the doctors for a while now. And they're defending themselves. Sort of like a zombie deal. Oh! You. What do I have to make the cheese nice and tasty? Not really anything. That sounded really close. Oh, god damn it. Those things are useless. There you go. Every time. Every time. You're just throwing out stuff and get them nice and pissed and they'll just throw themselves off. Interesting to note, as I always cheese that one, I don't actually know if the headless dudes are aggro to that hunter or not. Or the hunter. Why do I keep calling them headless? Let's get a torch out. Yeah. So the ones that have already gone crazy, usually their heads aren't too big. It looks like they started to transform or something. I'm not entirely sure. The fuck? Oh yeah, I know it's out there. Okay. Okay. Again, up here we just find even more beds. Some more bloody than others, but I mean, the game's called Bloodborne, so, you know. Oh. Oh, it's not that way. I have a feeling the Amigdala arm would be interesting in PvP. I mean, I made the Ligarius wheel work, so... I don't know if I want to jump over there yet or not. Oh, I don't even have to. Oh shit! Oh shit! Twice. Ooh. I was just doing dumb things is what was wrong there. Laboratory 54. Can we get in from here? Yes, yes we can. Oh yeah. That's kind of cheap. The top floor of the laboratory is just a little closet. But we can get to the fourth floor laboratory. Ah, yes! So about this. In case any of you are wondering, because I gave this a shot, pretty much specifically because I felt like there would be something up there. But there's this nice little drop off here. Leads to the, I think this is the fourth floor, because that goes down to the third. And you get the top hatch to the elevator. So I was like, well, what's going to happen if I hang out on the top hatch of that elevator and somebody takes that elevator up? I was like, but no, that doesn't make sense. There couldn't be anything up there because, you know, like, why are they going to implement a puzzle that is required to have two people in order to do? So I started trying to, like, lure enemies into it and, like, all kinds of dumb stuff. And eventually I just went into somebody else's world as an invader. And I hopped up on top of that thing. I waited for them to go up. I went all the way up to the top. And there wasn't anything up there. If you stand on top of there and go all the way to the top, there's nothing up there. So I just plunged down the hole and I stabbed him, and I murdered him. So there's nothing up there. If you wanted to try, and you wanted to like try and do whatever craziness it takes to actually make that happen, it's not worth it. Nothing happens. Oh! What in the fuck is going on there? Yeah? What the hell? Alright. Where? Oh, it's that weird rendering thing that this game has. Oh! Yes! Here we go. Perfect.
Plip, plop, plip, plop, plip, plop, plip, plop. Lady Maria, I'm a robin. Will I ever curl up and become an egg? What say you? Lady Maria. Lady Maria, say something. Anything.
Now this thing is just straight up nothing but a head now. And it's basically gelatinous underneath there. And also, I don't know if it just rocks back and forth, but it feels like it's constantly moving this direction. At this point, it doesn't really look like there's faces in it anymore. It just kind of is. Which makes the mystery of what's underneath there all the more terrifying. Like, as if it wasn't scary enough, just knowing that they were weird things. Also, they're immortal. We found the brain fluid for St. Adeline. This thing regenerates.
Lady Maria, I'm a robin. Will I ever curl up and become... What say you? Say something.
And it's okay. And that brain fluid. This is where stuff starts to get interesting. Grayish, amoeba-shaped brain fluid wobbles and bounces. Extracted from a patient whose head expanded until that was all that they were. Now, in this little, like, side blurb here, it says, once a young girl had an older brother who was determined to become a doctor, and so she willfully became his patient. In the end, this led to their encounter with the Elder's Truth, for which they considered themselves blessed. Now, how many people, like, this had to be of somebody important. This had to be of somebody important that is recent. Hey, baby. Good morning. You getting in the shower? Oh, sorry. I got stuff strung out all over the place. So, if this has to be of somebody important. Furthermore, this has to be of somebody that obviously had contact with a Great One. But not just an unnamed somebody. This was put in here for a reason. Now, there are two possible things that this implies. Two major theories that I have. One is that Rom was Willem's sister, and she willfully became his patient, and that's eventually what led to his discovery and his contact with Kos that granted Rom eyes in the first place, or that we see on that surgery altar. It's possible that that relationship was much deeper than that. Although, with all of the implications that there are of Great Ones and children and lost children and all sorts of things like that, who even knows what kind of experiments were taking place at that point. But the other major theory that I have, and this is the one that is a bit of a leap, but the more I'm looking into makes more and more sense. And it's that the sister was of Lawrence. Lawrence is the one who wanted to become a doctor. And his sister just constantly let him perform experiments helping him further his knowledge, and eventually it led to their encounter with the Eldritch Truth, which we're going to see here very soon, as the contact with the Eldritch Truth proved to be kind of problematic. Well, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, but the person that I believe possibly could be Lawrence's sister is not somebody that we are unfamiliar with. It is somebody that we have heard a decent amount about, or, well, actually we haven't even heard a decent amount about them. We've actually heard very little. But it is somebody that has been right in front of our face the whole time. Somewhat. Let's see. I need to get back upstairs. I guess I could run down first. And, oh yeah, I don't think there is. I think I'm gonna have to... What? Did something else jump off and die? Alright, quick. Up here, there's a couple of small things I'm going to touch base with. Up in the upper rafters. Let's see. Oh, shit. Here we go. This is the path that was right in front of me, wasn't it? That still did it? Oh, you are not having a good day. Stop repetitive defense. Because I'm literally just firing whenever I see you start an animation. Of any kind. You start any animation, I'm shooting at like somewhat different times. The window of opportunity to parry those guys is large when they start doing that. So whenever they start freaking out, don't panic. Just smack them with the fucking pistol right in the mouth. And chances are you're probably going to land a parry. Oh, what's that, something farms theme? Oh, hey, come on. That's how you deal with rats. Where'd the other one go? Remember, if you're up here on rafters and you're fighting something, you wait until it is right in front of you. Oh. Yep, there he goes. Cool. Why rats are all the way up in the rafters? How they got here? Ah, so here we see bells. Huge bells. Now, granted, you know, clock tower, sure, but like, what else have we learned about bells? They're definitely tools of the old ones that help to cross into other worlds. And we also saw it on that surgery altar, so... Where? Oh, I need to be a level up.
Listen close, and you too will hear the sound of water.
Yeah. We're about to get the other thing that explains that. Interesting that what's guarding this is those same eye statues. But of course, there's a big fucking crank that it changes everything that you just learned. It's fantastic. I love that. I really do. Yeah. It is actually super good level design though. If you're gonna make somebody go backwards through something, like make them do it different. Make it fresh, and that's cool. Here's another one of these things.
Flash. Split. Flash.
Apparently gonna point at her.
Have you heard how curiously the sea churns? Like a storm, but like the rain, only gentle, like dripping water. It bellows from deep inside of me. Here it comes, up through my inside, but gently, like little droplets.
So, some of it may sound like crazy ramblings, but others of it kind of makes sense in a weird madness sort of way. Then we got our second brain fluid, which has a slightly different description. So, this one says, in the early days of the healing church, the great ones were linked to the ocean, and so the cerebral patients would imbibe water and listen for the howl of the sea. Brain fluid writhed inside the head, the initial making of internal eyes. So, the great ones being linked to the ocean explains all of the wrecked ships in Nightmare Frontier. Like, it's very Lovecraftian of like a ship being crashed on an island with a giant spider thing like an Amigdala that is actually some weird nightmare realm. Like, you know, like it feels like that same general theme, so that kind of makes a lot of sense. Also, the link between the ocean being a vast and very mysterious thing, and in a lot of ways the ocean parallels the cosmos, so that also makes a lot of sense. Alright, we're going to, let's see. Oh yeah, cranking that up also releases a lot of, changes a lot of enemies and stuff. Like one guy will sometimes run by and then he'll like jump off and kill himself. Oh, up there also on that crow that you see is a lesser rune of guidance. I'll come back for that, but I kind of want to get to a good stopping point here because I'm going to have to take my wife to work here in like 15 minutes. I can't remember this. Pretty sure it's just a blood gem. Yeah, it's a decent blood gem, but I mean only if you haven't done a bunch of chalice dungeons. Alright, we'll run back down here. Oh no, I'm actually not doing any of that. Oh, and the headless ones. Oh yeah. So this room of them, they are, you can see a bunch of dead ones over here. So they probably either served their purpose. Well, we're about to see something kind of interesting here in just a second. And this is going to further my proof here. There's blue elixir here, enlarged head. Now they're pissed, so we're going to get out of here. One drops from the ceiling there, though. Oh, shit. No. I don't think the headless ones actually care. But this is going to get a little bit further into my connection. But basically, to just go ahead and give you an idea of what I'm going to be getting into whenever I start the stream back up when I get home, is that I believe that Lawrence's sister, there's a very strong possibility that it is Carol, the runesmith, who is also a scholar of Bergenworth. And I believe that she is quite possibly behind a lot of this area. Now, right here we got the boss fog. Well, boss door, I guess. Oh shit. Oh yeah, this one's good. This one's okay.
I have failed. Please, Lady Maria.
So this whole build-up has been something important. But the problem is that the puzzle piece that lies beyond this door is, granted, one that we've been looking for, but not the one that we are currently looking for. In fact, it actually just opens up a much bigger puzzle. But we're going to run down here real quick. Oh man, y'all suicided. Get that lock shield. Read this description real quick, and I'll get into this a little bit naturally later on when I'm referring to the theories and stuff. Originally used to safeguard the leader presiding over a sacred healing church ceremony, later supplied to tomb prospectors, in particular those exploring the Labyrinth of East. The blue is fashioned after a lake, and the shield greatly reduces all forms of non-physical damage. So I'll get into that a little bit naturally. And real quick, a couple of things that I'll address about the theory of Carol. Well, actually, no, I don't actually have to get into that until a little bit later. But we'll give her her first brain fluid here.
Please, I need brain fluid. Murky, mushy brain fluid.
Give her this brain fluid.
Thank you. You're terribly kind.
Slurps it the fuck up. And we see a lot of movement.
Oh, it's wonderful. Oh, I hear the sticky sound. Do you hear it too? Oh, I know. Will you have my blood as thanks? I'll have you know, I was once a blood saint too.
So she now becomes another blood saint, or another person to give us blood. Now, thinking about that, we've got Ariana, Adela, and now, shit, what's her name?
That makes me happy.
Adeline. Adeline.
But I cannot move. Look, on my right arm. I'm sorry to trouble you. But you don't mind, do you?
So this restores HP, then continues to rejuvenate HP for some time. Adeline was originally one of the blood saints who received treatment by the church to cultivate worthy blood. Adeline's was one of the very few cases that turned out favorably. So Yosefka also gives us blood. I think there's one other that I'm thinking of. It's right at the tip of my mind, but I can't remember what it is. It's another A, I think. Oh. These guys suck. Oh, they're all still alive too. Alright, we're gonna run down here and grab something real quick, and then I'm gonna wrap this up. Whenever I start the stream back up, we'll take over and go to the next two boss fights, talk briefly about the first one, and then we're going to have a lot to talk about into the second one. But if you send that up, and again, this in itself is symbolic. Setting the third tier altar up high to reveal this, is the same throne that is in the Grand Cathedral, and of course Lawrence's skull. I.e. what we're going to need to fight the Fire Cleric Beast. Skull of Lawrence, the first vicar of the Healing Church. In reality, he became the first Cleric Beast, and his human skull only exists within the Nightmare. The skull is a symbol of Lawrence's past and what he failed to protect. He is destined to seek his skull, but even if he found it, it could never restore his memories. However, whenever we touch his skull in the real world, we can connect to his memories. That's interesting to note. And also, this skull is wrapped with his sash. Or at least his sash is present there. And he's missing some teeth. So it's interesting that that surgery altar raises up to reveal this. And I said earlier there was something that I noticed about this that I was only really able to catch now that I can get up here. Ever since this thing's existed, I've wanted to get up on top of it. That's close enough. So, here's the altar with the skull. There's the altar with his skull on it, leading up to his throne. But what's this underneath his throne? It's kind of a small, conveniently child-sized coffin, being held up or together, or perhaps even shut by the messengers. Now, what or who could possibly be in a small, child-sized coffin, if not the child of a great one? Maybe even the child of Yharnam? It's possible that, well, you know what? I'm actually going to save some of that because there's quite a few theories I have on this that I'm going to bring up whenever I bring the stream back up. But for now, I'm going to have to cut this off. And we'll talk about, I'm going to leave this guy here. Probably try to get up a little bit higher. Oh, that's the church cannon. If you were wondering, that's how you get the church cannon. I'm probably going to try to get higher up so that you guys can see the plaque behind there too. But there's quite a bit of symbolism here that I think is a little bit too loud to ignore or to chalk up to just ambient. And we're going to get into that a little bit whenever I get back. But for now, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for sticking around. I hope I gave you a little bit of insight as to what's this might possibly all be about. And whenever I come back to the next stream, I think I'm getting close. I think by sitting here just talking about it while I'm playing through, I'm getting much closer than I was before to theorizing the full story of this. So whenever I get back, we're going to do the living failures, and we're going to make our way inside of the astral clock tower, which in itself is going to be a lot to discuss. So again, thank you guys very much for hanging out, and I will see you again next time, hopefully. Let's see. I'll be back in like half an hour. I'm probably going to grab some food too.